things that's very, very important that we're going to talk about all day today is the sales aspect. Because we've already had the sales presentations for you guys showing you the technology. We've already had workshop classes showing you how to do stuff basic. We've had advanced classes trying to show you a little bit more. But ultimately, all that is secondary. What Tom just said was very, very important. And that is, the technology is what you need to be competitive in this market because consumers are educated now. Consumers are technical now. Your customers are on the internet. Your customers know how the internet works. So you can't possibly hope to sell to them unless you have an understanding of that too. So that's just a necessity at this point, not a luxury. But what is more important than that though is now that you guys all have the tools at your disposal to be successful, it's more important that you know how to sell. And any good salesperson will tell you they can always learn something. I've been selling since I was 17 years old, and I'll tell you here today, I still learn stuff every single day. But I'm going to show you some things that I hope if you use what I tell you, I will guarantee you that you will be more successful and you will increase your sales. But it's up to you to use them. Ultimately, this isn't a paid seminar in Vegas, okay? I don't have any coals for you guys to walk on. We're not going to jump up and down and hold hands. It's not about getting you excited. Ultimately, we're all salespeople, yes? Yes? Money should be what gets us excited. Money should be what turns us on. So I want to show you how to make that money because that's going to get you a lot more excited than listen to me talk for 2 hours, okay? So it's important too that I come from a position of you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I'm going to give you everything you have out there. But the important thing is when you walk out this room today, your future is in your hand. There's no excuse now that you can't be competitive. I'm not number one. Yes, you are, and you're going to be number one after today. But there's no more excuses. So you only have yourself and the desire to go out there and do it because everybody has to work for it. Every number one, number two, number three, number four, and number five salesperson in every single real estate company did not walk in the door and were number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They put in the work, they created a brand for themselves, and they built their business up. That's why they protect it, ferociously. They don't want you learning what I'm telling you today. Obviously not. They want the market. But I want to give everybody a fighting chance. So I'm going to show you how you don't have to have the budget. You don't have to spend the money. And you can be just as successful marketing as the people that are spending thousands of dollars a month doing marketing. Because that's one of the biggest myths in sales is that you have to spend a tremendous amount of money to get what you want. That's one of the main things we're going to talk about today. So with that introduction, let's jump right into it. The first thing is what type of salesperson are you? All of you just said you're salespeople, right? But what type of salesperson are you? Now, in my experience, I've found there's only 3 types of salesperson. That's it. Only 3 types. Doesn't matter what you're selling. It doesn't matter if it's a product. Doesn't matter if it's service. Doesn't matter if it's movies or houses. But there's only 3 types of salespeople that I've found. The first type is a financial salesperson, okay? This is the salesperson that sells on price. Your typical salesperson. Use us, we're 10% cheaper than them. Use us, we're the cheapest around. That's the first type of salesperson. Always tries to push price or financial, okay? The next type of salesperson is the speed salesperson. We're faster. We can turn that job around in 2 days. I can close your house in a week instead of the average agent that does it a month. This is the type of salesperson that's always using proficiency and speed as their selling point. Okay? The next type of salesperson is quality. This, especially in your industry, is the #1 type of salesperson. 90% of salespeople in your industry are quality or service, what we call, salespeople. Quality and service, the same thing. What that means is, I am so much better. This is what I do. I'm going to serve, and this is what you're trained as real estate agents. 99% of you, that's the initial training that you go through. You're programmed to teach that your company, your brand, your broker, and you do the utmost service. We give the best. I am always the best. I'm there for you, and this is why you should use me. Most all of you sitting in this room, that's how you guys sell. Okay? I'm here to tell you they're all wrong. Every one of those are wrong. And let me tell you the reason why. Even if you are selling on service, which most of you are, do you really think there's nobody that's ever going to be better than you out there? Do you really think there's nobody out there that's ever going to be cheaper than you, that's going to take a lower commission rate? Do you really think there's somebody out there that isn't going to be faster than you? Okay? It's naive to think that. So if you sell on any of these, You're selling what I call a one-trick pony. Okay? You're making a sale. That's it. You've got no vested interest with that customer. What I propose to you guys is I want you to learn today to sell relationships. This is what I want you to sell. Okay? Because if you sell a relationship, the guy that's faster, the guy that's cheaper, the guy that's even better, that doesn't matter. Okay? It really doesn't matter. Relationships are what count for everything. And why? Because everybody is vested in a friendship. You're not vested in a sale. If you walk into a Ford dealership and you buy a Mustang and you just sit there and listen to the bull crap for the guy for 2 hours and couldn't wait to just sign the contract and get out of there, are you really going home and recommending your friends to go to that dealership to him and buy a Ford? Heck no. None of us are doing it. Nobody's doing it. It's a one-time sale. Okay? Now you have a friend that works at a dealership. That's the guy that you're sending your friends to. That's the guy that you're referring to. That's the guy that you keep going back to. Everything in this world is about creating relationships. Because and we're going to get to this in another slide, but I'm going to talk to you about the difference between one-shot sales and residual sales. Okay? And we're going to get that in just a second. Okay? So, how do you do relationship sales? It's pretty simple. I want you all to be in the friend-making business. That's it. I want you to go out there and make friends. Now, it sounds easy, but a lot of you, it's hard to make friends. Okay? So how do you just go out there and make friends? Just going to walk down the street, hi, Mark, be my friend. It doesn't really work like that. You guys know that. So where do you want to start being friends? Okay? So where you want to start is common interest is number one. Okay? And a little bit later on in this presentation, we're going to talk about our wheelhouse. But for right now, let's talk about common interest. What's common interest? Are you a bowler in a bowling league? Are you a golfer that plays golf once a week or twice a week? Are you in a knitting class or a sewing club? Are you in a group, in a Bible study group? Are you in a group in a book club? Whatever you have, everybody in here has common interest. And usually that's where your current friends already are. So it's a lot easier to start expanding your network base in your common interest. So this is where I want you guys to start with is common interest. Okay? You want to start with the organizations, the clubs, the sports, the affiliations, the memberships, anything that you're doing in your regular personal life. That's where you want to start building your friendship base, okay, and growing it. The second thing is for every single new customer you work with, the other way that you can start building these relationships is start getting interest beyond the scope of work. This is the number one thing I could probably tell you out of everything today. Every single customer you're dealing with, whether it's a buyer or a seller, 99% of the time you're talking about what? The transaction. Okay, yeah, here's the docs. Okay, yep, here's the inspection. Okay, now we're going to do this. Now we're going to do that. How hard is it to just start taking a little interest beyond them? Okay? Just be open. Okay? One of the things we're going to talk about in the next couple slides too is one of the biggest mistakes that we all make as salespeople is we open our mouths too much. Okay? A lot of times we just got to sit back, listen, and they'll give us everything we need to know. I don't have to fish for information. Just a simple, how are things going with you today? That will open up a world of information. I'm going to now find out that, man, her husband's working too many hours, her kids are failing school, this is going on. This gives me the ins now to start showing a common interest in these things outside of just the transaction. Okay? Because what I want you to do is ultimately, I want you to make friends with your customers. I want you to make friends with every buyer that comes into an open house. I want you to engage. I want you to take a social interest and start creating these friendships. Okay? The other thing is affiliations. What I mean specifically by that is find out what your customers are into and get into it. Okay? It's very simple. True story. 1999. I wanted to get Columbia Records. I was working for George Rice & Sons, largest printing company in California. And this was back in the days before the internet. This is when marketing, for your old timers out there know what I'm talking about, was dip and dump. This is when marketing was slides, transparencies, black and white headshots, and paper press kits, okay? So the printing world was all about, you know, the entertainment industry, because they did just tremendous amounts of printing work. So I wanted this Columbia Records real bad. The president of Columbia Records California, because their main office is in New York, but the main guy out here was a guy named Greg Waddy. Through his assistant, that I wined and dined, because nobody wined and dines assistants, but I knew that's the way to get to the big guy. It's another story. But the point is, I found out this guy was this tremendous surfer. So I started just sending this guy emails and messages all the time about surfing. Said, hey, I heard you're a surfer. I really want to get out there. I want to surf. Let's go surfing sometime. That piqued his interest. He actually started writing me back. Never talked to me about work, ever. It was always about surfing. Now, for those of you in the room, just to set the record straight here, I have never been on a surfboard a day in my life. Even to this day. Never. Never. I don't know anything about surfing other than there's a thing called a wave report. Okay? So, here's the thing. I talked to this guy for almost 2 years about surfing. 2 years. Now, and here's what I did. I knew I can't just say no every time he asked me to go surfing. Eventually, he's like, this guy's not a surfer. So I would actually call his assistant on Mondays and talk about something totally different than surfing. Say, yeah, I really want to get Greg for lunch. What days does he have open this week? Oh, well, he's got this meeting on Thursday. He's doing an A&R. They're doing a record release on Friday. So what would I do? I would always ask him to go surfing on the days I knew he already had something to do. So I was the one always engaging him. I was the one always going, oh, and I'm telling you, I would send these emails too. Oh my God, Greg, you've got to see the waves in Huntington right now. There are 4 to 5 swells. It's awesome. Let's sneak away for lunch and go. Oh, Mark, I can't. I got it. But I already knew that ahead of time. The moral of the story is it took me about 1.5 years of doing this, and then one day he sends me an email and says, Mark, I'm really pissed off at our printer. You want to come in and talk about it? I came in and talked about it. I ended up getting that account, okay? But that's not the moral of the story. Here's the moral of the story. 1 year after that, I had the entire Sony network. And I mean entire Sony network. He had facilitated, so I had every job coming from New York City. Now, there was over 100 print facilities in New York City. Sony was spending almost $1 million a year in shipping costs to send me the jobs in California, just so I could do them here. And we weren't nowhere near the cheapest company. George Rice & Sons at the time was one of the most expensive, okay? But ultimately, his mentality was, that's my buddy, that's Mark. Now, I have this relationship with me, and ultimately, well, it's not my money, it's Sony's money, you know? So the point is that I had this tremendous account, and through my time as being a salesperson in the printing industry, that was my largest account. I did over $10 million a year with them in printing work, every year. They were huge, okay? So, but the moral is I took that step to create this personal relationship with this guy. And just so you know, I'm friends with the guy to this day, and he still doesn't know I never sold a day to this day. And this was 1999 I started this, okay? So, I don't need you to take it to that extreme, but hopefully you see the illustrative point that I'm making, okay? I'm going to start getting involved in my customers. And why do you want to do that? Because here's what I want you to do. We're going to talk about this in the next slide. Hopefully it's this one. Okay? We are. Because what I want you to do is turn your job into a residual sales job, okay? Let's first talk about the difference between single sales and residual sales, okay? Now, don't get mad at me, but usually when I'm in these kind of sales presentations, the first thing I say is, you never want to get a single sales job. You don't want to be a real estate agent. You don't want to be a car salesman. You don't want to do anything that's a one-trick pony. You want to get into residual sales. But I'm here to tell you, I want you to change your industry and change your sales strategy to make this a residual sales job, okay? And you guys all have the power to do that, okay? Because single versus residual, residual always wins. Now, for those of you that think I'm speaking Chinese, let me explain to you the difference. A single sales is a guy comes onto a dealership and buys a car. The salesman makes $400 commission. He's got to make more money when the next guy buys a car. That's a single sales job. Or you sell a house to somebody. You make a commission. You got to wait and sell a house to somebody else, make a commission or represent a buyer. Okay? Residual sales is I sell you an insurance policy. Your premium is $240 a month, and I make $14 a month forever, as long as you're paying your policy. You see the difference between residual and single? So normally in sales, we train people to go for residual sales jobs. I sell a client, I'm always making money. And now I just add to my client list and I get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, what I propose to each and every one of you is I want you to turn your real estate job into a residual sales job. And yes, you can do that. How do we do that? We do that by making customers, okay? Number one, by building relationships with our customers, we turn our customers into salespeople for us, okay? We can humanly only cover so much ground when it comes to marketing. You can only meet so many new people a day. You can only put out so many new business cards a day. You can only do so much online marketing a day. Why not think of it like this. every single customer, buyer or seller, and I'm going to show you now, even the buyer or seller you don't work with, turn them into your customers. And what we want is a referral network, because anyone sitting in this room that makes a decent living in real estate, and I guarantee you the top 10 people in this company will all agree with what I'm going to say right now, and that is referrals is the name of this game. We want referrals more than anything else. Every single top agent I've ever talked to, that's what they're interested in. Mark, I want you to help me build my referral network. I want more referrals. They never say, Mark, I want to learn how to cold call more. Mark, I want to learn how to canvas more. Mark, I want to learn how to increase my farm. Nope, it's always the same thing. I want more referrals. I want to build my referral network in these other markets. I want to get bigger, okay? Because referrals are the name of the game. Because a lot of you get caught up in this, what I call the lead game, okay? The word lead in itself is an illusion, okay? Because there's a huge difference between what I call a lead and what I call a qualified lead. And that's the only thing I consider a lead, okay? When you pay for something to shoot you information because somebody filled out a form online or somebody requested a flyer, I don't care about those leads. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, it takes 1,000 of them to get one customer out of it. I'd rather have referrals, whereas my brother needs to move out to Orange County. My sister can't afford a mortgage anymore. She needs to do a short sale before the house gets foreclosed. Those are leads, ladies and gentlemen. What I consider a lead is there's a real estate transaction that needs to be done. That's a lead. Not, oh, here's the name of somebody that was looking at a property on the MLS, okay? I'm going to spin my wheels and waste my time. I'm not saying you don't do that at all. You have to do a combination of that too. But what I'm most interested in is spending my time working leads that end up with a ratio of me making money. That's why it's so important that you know your numbers, okay? Because what we want to do is we want to shrink those ratios, okay? And this is what I mean by those ratios. How many people did I talk to actually make a commission check, okay? Those are ratios. If you're using leads that are coming from just lead router or interested leads or what I call, just general interest type leads, you'll find that ratio may be 500 to 1. That, oh, out of 500 of those, I'm turning one deal, okay? Where when you start getting serious referrals and quality leads of people that need real estate, and quality lead again, let me say it again, a quality lead to me is somebody that needs to do a real estate transaction immediately. That is a quality lead to me. Now the difference is instead of 500, you'll find out of 10 of those, you're getting a commission check out of 1. So now you're doing a 10 to 1 ratio instead of a 500 or 100 to 1. That's how we start using our time wisely and monopolizing our time into translating to dollars, okay? So we want to create a referral network. The next thing we want to do is we want to start stealing every agent's customer in this Orange County. San Bernardino County, Riverside County, everywhere. We want everybody's customers to be our customers, okay? How many of you, even in this room, when you have represented a seller and some other person came in as the buyer that was represented by a Prudential California realty agent and they bought the house, how many of you engaged or followed up after the sale to that buyer that wasn't even your customer? I saw 1, 2, 3, 4 people, okay? That is a gold mine because guess what? The other agent isn't doing it either, even though that's his customer. He's like, yep, buyer, got my commission, I'm out the door, I'm gone. That's it. So now what do you have? You have a customer that, yeah, they just bought a home. So they may not need to sell that home for 2 or 3 years, but guess what? Chances are they're moving into a new community, okay? They know people. They're going to introduce people. They're going to meet people. They're a gold mine for a referral network. And not only that, but when they're ready to sell that house, okay, you start conditioning them now to be able to get that customer when they're ready to go. And they're easy pickings, ladies and gentlemen, because the other agent dropped them like a bad habit. They got their commission check, they're done. They're cold calling, moving on to the next person, okay? So how hard is it? This is where I do believe in drip campaigns. We'll talk about that later. I think drip campaigns and newsletters, they're a waste of time, in my opinion, unless you're putting the information that that person wants to see right in front of them. But we'll talk about that later. But this is one of the cases where a drip campaign is perfect. I'm going to set up a drip campaign to every buyer that's involved in the transaction I do, whether they were my customer or not. And the first drip campaign is going to be like 5 days after they bought the house. Congratulations on the purchase of your new home. I know I didn't represent you, but just thought you wanted to know. Here's a list of things that you should be able to do the first week that you own your home. Important things you should check. Here's a list of utility companies, phone companies. Here's stuff that you should start, okay? The next one, I'm not even going to send them for 30 days. I'm not going to send a phone call, I'm not going to do anything. 30 days later, I'm going to send them another message that's going to say, it's been 30 days in your new home. Bet you're just getting settled now. Just FYI, here's important things that you should have already had done or need to know about after 30 days of owning a home. Okay? After that, I'm going to jump all the way to 3 months. After 3 months, I'm going to jump to 6 months. Then I'm going to go to a year. Then I'm only going to have a drip campaign going there once a year after that first year. Okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime that customer so that when they need real estate or they are in a conversation with somebody and they need to do a referral, my name is in front of them. Okay? People need to know your name to refer you, ladies and gentlemen. You've got no chance of getting a referral if nobody knows who you are. So the point is to get your name out there everywhere. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later too. I'm going to show you how I want people seeing your name everywhere they go. They're at school, your name's there. They're picking up their dry cleaning, their name's there. They're getting a sandwich at Subway, your name's there. So guess what? An hour later when they're having a conversation, somebody's like, man, I really want to move. Oh, I know. They don't even know why they know your name. It's just been imprinted on them because they've seen it everywhere. This is called branding, okay? This is what we do in the sales and marketing world, no matter what the industry is, no matter what the business is. Tom will tell you from a corporate standpoint. This is what the brands that you work for do. The Century 21s, the Coldwell Bankers, the Prudentials, the Engel Volkers. Every company tries to create a brand, okay? Because ultimately, the public are like sheep. They really are. They're going to go where the illusion is or where their perception is they think they're supposed to go. So what we want to do is start shaping those perceptions, okay? So what we want to do is turn one sale into mini sales and make our job a residual sales job. We do that by creating salespeople for us, okay? Now, salesperson versus an entrepreneur. You are a business, okay? So start acting like it, okay? Number one, everyone in this room already knows you're an independent contractor, you're your own business, you're under the guidelines and the banner and the brand of Beachside, but you are your own independent contractor, your own business, okay? So stop acting like an employee, okay? So let's talk about that in general, okay? First of all is return on investment. You guys, and it's not your fault, okay? First of all, it's not your fault. You guys look at every possible investment totally wrong. And again, it's not your fault because you're programmed that way in this industry. And sadly so, because I know you guys are inundated. From the time you get your real estate license, from the time you sign on the dotted line, boy, that pitches start immediately, don't they? You need this. Oh, you need to get this. Oh, you need to have this lockbox company. Oh, you need to be a member of this. You need to be a member of this. You need to pay this subscription, this negotiation. Crap, about 2 weeks into the job, you're like, I haven't even sold a house and I've got $500 a month in debt just to be a real estate agent, okay? So you guys are already totally weary when something comes around like, wow, invest in this and it can make you money. Because that's everybody's spiel. This is the next big thing. This is the next new thing, okay? I'm going to show you in the very next thing that we're going to talk about how that's a big, I'm going to show you how 99% of your job is free. Can be totally free. 99% of it. And I'm not just going to talk about it, I'm going to show you how to do it, okay? Having said that, there are some things you're going to want to pay for, okay? But what I want you to do is change your mentality. Right now, your mentality is this. If I was to tell you anything that's going to help sell you houses, your first thought's going to be, nothing. How much is that? I got to pay this? How much is it? How much is it? That's not what a business does, okay? A business, take emotion out of it. Everything, if you do this formula, you'll never get upset again about products. ROI, return on investment. That's how every business looks at any investment is what's my return? Return on investment. So as you get bigger, you want any return on investment. Right now, if somebody came to my company and said, Mark, if you spend $500 a month, you'll make $505. I'm on it. I do it I'd spend $500 a billion times because I'm making money. Why wouldn't I? But when you're first starting out, set yourself some easy guidelines and make them lofty. For right now, I want to tell you guys this, triple. I don't want you buying nothing right now until you're making at least $100,000 a year net. I don't want you buying anything right now that doesn't give you 3 times your money back in investment. Fair? Now, why would you not buy, if I could show you 100 things that would triple your investment, you would buy them, yes? Why wouldn't you? You'd be crazy not to, okay? So if I said this is $100 a month, but you know, and it's proven, this is going to make me $300 a month, you buy it. You buy it quick. Okay? You don't think about, oh, it's $100 a month. You don't worry about it. You just look at everything return on investment. And everything else you see, no matter how cool it is, no matter, oh, wow, this is the next big thing, no matter how it's sold to you, you ask yourself that question. Is this going to make me 3 times my money? Nope, I'm not buying it then. Don't buy it. Okay? It's that simple. And as you grow, you start lowering that demand. Next thing you go, when you're making good money, go to double my investment. Will it double my investment? Okay? Then you can bring it down. So that's the 3 times rule that we're going to start with. Okay? Invest where it matters. That's why I just said the very next thing we're going to talk about free stuff and perceptions and all that good stuff. So I promise you we're going to get that in a minute. But when I say invest where it matters is this. Okay? I'll tell you right now something that's 3 times your money on your investment. Google AdWords. Okay? And you don't have to be a webmaster. You don't have to be a programmer. You can go to Google with a free account, go to Google AdWords, and put in your budget and your keywords. And just be smart about it. Learn what I'm going to teach you today about where you want to put your money. You don't want to go in and do a Google AdWord on the word real estate, because how are you going to compete? You've got Realtor.com and Zillow that are paying $15 a click with a $200 million budget, you know, to steal these customers when people type in the word real estate. But guess what? Nobody types in the word real estate when they're searching for a house. So guess what? Those big boys aren't doing. They're not doing keywords like new homes in Newport Beach with pool home, Orange County new listings, Santa Ana condos. They're not doing these kind of keywords that you can target your market and you can drive tremendous amounts of traffic to your website. But I'm even going to go even farther and say, what I'm going to show you today, I want you to do first. I don't want you to jump out there when you leave here today and start buying Google AdWords. After today, I don't want you to buy nothing until you do what I'm going to teach you. After that, I'm just showing you one example of what's a return on investment. Because I know, and I'm going to be able to see proof that this is putting me this much money in my pocket. I ran Google AdWords, it brought me 10 new customers, I closed one deal, I made this much money. So then I know my AdWords campaign was $100, I made $600 this month off of that. So now I have an actual comparison. That's what I mean by proof on return on investment. You don't just got to think it's going to triple your money, it's got to triple your money. Okay. Now the other thing is you're a business, so look like it, okay? Now one good thing, so far almost every presentation I've done so in this company, you guys for the most part always look professional, and that's a great thing. But I cannot tell you how many real estate offices I've been into and I've seen people wearing Bermuda shorts and a t-shirt coming in to do work, okay? We are businesses, okay? We want to look like a business, so we want to dress for success at all times, okay? The next thing is, again, that word brand. We want to create a brand for ourselves. Just like I just explained to you. A brand is just people always being familiar with your name, getting hit with your name, so your name is just kind of programmed into their psyche. Okay, we're going to talk about doing that. The next thing is to create affiliates. All good businesses have affiliates. That's why you see the deal, you know, with the movie studios. Or at Taco Bell, you know, you'll see little toys that are for the next, you know, movie that's coming out or whatever it is. So you can do that too. And everything is about perception, which we're going to talk about. And I'm going to teach you today how you can make a perception that you are the #1 realtor in your area, whether you are or not. Okay? And you're not going to lie about it. You're not going to say, I'm going to teach you how to use perception. Again, it goes back to that rule about keeping your mouth shut. I'm never going to ask anybody in this room to lie. I'm never going to ask you to misrepresent yourself. I'm never going to ask you to do anything unethical or that would tarnish the name of Beachside Realtors Corp. All I'm going to ask you to do is put your information out there and let the customer make their own assumptions. That's all I want you to do. Instead of offering them an assumption, put out the kind of marketing I'm going to show you and let them make their own assumption. And I'm just asking you not to correct them. Why would you want to do that? If they think you're the best realtor since sliced bread, why would you want to tell them otherwise? Now, sponsors. We want to start getting sponsorships, okay? Especially if we're an up-and-coming agent and we're struggling with these dues and stuff and we're not making the big money yet that we want to make, okay? Start getting people to help you pay for your technology. And if you think you won't, they won't, you're crazy. Because I'm going to show you how easy it is. #1, right off the bat, everybody in this room, if they're on the system now, has their own website. And everybody should have Google Analytics. So everybody should be able to see how many hits they're getting, how many traffic they're getting, okay? You don't need 1 million people on your site, okay? Especially to local businesses. Because a local business doesn't care if you've got people from India looking at your website. They are never, ever, never going to walk into their Subway store or walk into their dry cleaning store in Newport because they're not even from this area. So it doesn't take a large number to impress local businesses and people that want to reach a specified market. When you even get up to where you can say, I have 100 people from the local area come to my website every day. That's valuable to a local business. That's 100 potential customers that are in that local area. Okay? It's very easy to create partnerships with them, which we're going to talk about in a second. But how about your lending companies, title companies, escrow companies? Is there like only one escrow company out there? Is there only one title company out there? Is there only one lender out there? Heck no. So they're all fighting each other for business. Okay? They want their business. Okay? So go to them and offer sponsorships to be able to advertise them on your website, in your marketing, to your customers, to promote, to push them. Okay? Now, we'll talk about that and show you how to do it. Now, there's 5 steps to sales. And this is about knowing your numbers. Again, this is real estate, and this came from Mr. Kuhn sitting right over there. He's been teaching this for 30 plus years. This is the secret formula to sales no matter what you're selling, whether it's widgets, houses, or socks. Okay? Contacts, leads, appointments, contracts, and closings. Okay? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because this is real estate 101. You guys should all know this. But what I want to tell you to do, though, is know these numbers. Okay? You want to know your numbers because then that's the formula for you to make any amount of money you want to make. Okay? So starting tomorrow, if you're not already doing it, it takes 10 seconds. When you come in, if you want to make a spreadsheet, that's fine. If you're a tough time, you don't feel you're very technical, how about a pen and a piece of paper? Okay? Write down, how many contacts did I make yesterday? How many leads did I do yesterday? How many appointments did I get yesterday? How many contracts did I get? And how many houses did I close yesterday? Even if all the numbers are 0, write them down. Okay? Because after a year, you're going to know the ratios. You're going to be able to see, okay, last year I made $50,000. You'll know how many you did these. You'll be able to know how many contacts it made to make those leads, to get the appointments, to get the contracts, to get the closings. So you can know right then and there, if I want to double my sales, make $100,000 this year, what do? I just double my contacts because then I know what my ratios are. So it's very, very important. And if that means I take my business cards out and I do not come back, I don't go home until I've done whatever that number says it is. And it's not rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. The number is what it is. If it was 500 contacts a day, made you 50 grand, it's what? 1,000 contacts a day to make 100 grand. So it's not magic. It's just about putting the effort in and doing the work. Okay? So knowing your numbers is critical for any successful salesperson. I have met real estate agents that even know their ratios to emails. They can tell me, I've met top agents, honestly, that can tell me, I know I make an average of 12 cents for every email I send out. It's incredible. But they know it just because they've done the ratios. They don't lie. Is whatever you track, you'll know whatever numbers you got. The same thing goes for emails. All you gotta do is write down how many emails you did. It'll do the same thing. So you can track and know your ratios, then you're in charge and you're in control of whatever money you want to make if you put the effort into it. Okay? Now, let's talk about creating a sponsor. I talked about these sponsorships. Let's talk about how to do it. Okay? Number 1, you're a real estate agent in Southern California. Do you really think you're going to be the preferred agent, you're going to get a sponsorship deal with the Subway Corporation? Come on, let's be realistic. No, ain't going to happen. Okay? Heck, Tom Denny's not even going to get a sponsorship with them. But I bet you can get a sponsorship with a local Subway that's a franchise operator. Okay? I bet you can go right down here to the street, this local Subway, and talk to that independent owner, that franchise owner right there, and I bet you can walk in the door and talk to him. Now here's the thing about perception, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have to be the preferred realtor of Subway. I can be, just like I showed you there, the preferred realtor of the Subway store at 562 West Holt Boulevard in Ontario. Okay? But see, on my website, when I put that logo and just the address underneath, when you go to my website, it's never even going to dawn on you that I'm the preferred realtor of that Subway store. It's going to register in your brain that I have a relationship with Subway, that I'm the preferred realtor of just Subway. Because people's minds just don't work like that. They don't break analytically down, especially in the world we're in today. Because the average attention span for consumers is 5 seconds. That's it. That's the only time they're looking at something, 5 seconds long. That's why it's imperative you get in front of them what they're looking for, and I'm going to show you that more today too. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go talk to the owner, I'm going to do a deal with him, and here's the thing too. Don't be greedy, think bigger. I want you guys to always look at the big picture. If you've got a Subway guy that's going, oh man, you've got 100 people going to your website, okay, I'll give you $50 a month to put it there. I don't want your $50. No way, I want to put my cards in your store. That's what I want. I want my cards right up there on your countertop. Because it goes all the way around what I told you earlier. I want the consumer seeing my name, branding them everywhere they go. So they're seeing my name more than just the one cold call that I'm getting. I'm branding myself on their brain. We're going to talk about that even more. But let's show you how to do this real quick. So, this particular store, I go to the Subway site because Subways, for this example I'm using, don't have their own websites. Most franchisees don't in these kind of real, food chain restaurants. There's just one giant corporate site. However, they have their own information page, kind of like how Century 21 does for you guys. So, I went to the Subway site, I found that particular store, then I copied the link once I got to that store information. Okay? Now, after I did that, I went to my website, and I put the logo on there with a link to that particular site for that particular store. Okay? Then I put preferred agent of Subway. And then click the link right there. And look what I did underneath. I know you can barely see it, but I did that on purpose. 562 West Boulevard. Okay? So what I'm saying is I'm the preferred realtor of Subway on West Boulevard. That's what I'm saying. Okay? But when you're going to my website and you see that, what do you think? Be honest. You're not going to think I'm the preferred agent of that particular Subway. You will right now because you're thinking of it. But if you're just a regular consumer glancing on my website, that never crosses your mind. Okay? And why am I doing this? Do I really believe you're going to go, wow, he's the preferred agent of Subway? No, but it's all subliminal. It's everything. All these things start adding and stacking up. Why do you think in the movie industry we're constantly telling you how good a movie, how much money a movie's making? What do you think we want to make you jealous? Like, oh my God, he made $1 billion off that. No, we're telling you it's the #1 movie in America for a reason. We're telling you that over 300 million gross worldwide for a reason. Because subconsciously you feel you need to go see it. You feel you're missing something. Oh, everybody else is watching this. Why? I need to watch it. What am I missing? We're living in this world. It's the same thing. Why do you think everyone is on Facebook? Okay? Because Facebook is some miraculous technology? It's not true. The reason why Facebook is so popular is because everybody ultimately wants to be popular. That's just by human nature. We want to belong. We graduate high school, but I hate to clue you, high school never really ends. Okay? We all want to be in the in crowd. We all want to be popular. We want to have our social circles. We all want to have our things. Okay? This is how the big companies, when I say big companies, I'm talking about Forbes 100, billion-dollar companies. This is how they sell to the world. I want you to use those same sales techniques. There's no sliding scale. It's not like, oh, it only works when you're doing a $100 million movie. It doesn't work on a $5 box of popcorn. That's monkey business. It's the same principles. So I want you to use the same tactics that the big boy professionals use, you can use in your same business practices. And I'm telling you, if you do it right, you're going to see extraordinary amount of success. You will. Because ultimately, do you really believe anybody wakes up in the morning and thinks, we need to do a real estate transaction. Let's find an agent just starting out. Let's give them their big break. How about that, honey? Let's do that. That'll be fun. Think anybody does that? You think anybody's like, well, this agent, they're okay. You know, they're not the best, but I like working with okay. Okay is my favorite. No. Why do you think the #1 agents are #1? Keep staying #1. #1, they've got already an easier job than you do. If I'm the #1 agent in the area, I have to physically lose that customer. I got to go in that call, and I got to be such a crappy personality that they're just like, I don't care, we're not using that guy. I have to lose them over you. You have to go earn their business. Why? Because they already want to work with me. Everybody wants to work with #1. Every single one of you sitting in this room, if you need to go do something that requires somebody else's help, no matter if it's a plumber, no matter if it's buying a car, no matter if it's getting a house, every single one of you sitting in this room would definitely prefer to work with the best person in that industry. It's just common sense, okay? So what we want to do is we want to start giving that brand that we are that #1 person. And like I said, you don't have to be the #1 person in volume. You don't have to be the #1 person in sales. #1 is very subjective, okay? I can say I'm the #1 agent in Orange County. Okay? I can say that. But guess what? I might be the #1 agent in putting on the golf course in Orange County. Okay? I have the lowest average amounts of putts on the golf course as an 8 agent in Orange County. So guess what? I'm the #1 agent in Orange County. I didn't say I'm the #1 agent in sales. I didn't say I'm the #1 agent in closings. But I can totally say I'm the #1 agent. Okay? Now I'm going to show you even further how to do that with marketing. Let's forget about #1. Because the word #1 is so misused by everybody that is #1. Everybody that's #1, I guarantee you, even the #1 agents here, that's the first thing they do. Every one of their business cards, every one of their flyers, #1 agent, #1 agent. I'm going to show you perception. And what's more important than saying #1 is their perception of what #1 is. Okay? So let's get into that in a second. So let's go back to here. Okay? Now, I also want you guys to do church and school partnerships. Why? Because in every community in the United States, in the world for that matter, the 2 most loyal people in every community is always churches #1, schools #2. Now, that excludes high schools. Because for any of you out there like me that have a gang of kids, by the time you get in high school, you are so done with school you don't want to have nothing to do with it. Okay? But elementary school is the best. Because, you're just... I mean, I'll tell you right now, every elementary school has the highest PTA membership rate than anybody else. More so than middle school, because that's when parents are new, they're fresh, you're happy, you're excited, yeah, I'm going to get involved. Then you start weeding yourself down as you get older. But these things that you go to, okay, these are gold mines because they're very loyal people. They want to help. And every single school needs money, okay? Every single school needs money, and every single church needs money, okay? Now, here's what you can't do, okay? So for those of you that know how this works, you can't go to a school and say, for every house I get referred to, I'm going to give $200 back to the PTA. You can't do that, okay? It's against your real estate rules, okay? However, you can say, for every house I sell, I'm giving $200 back to PTA. So that you're not making it look like an exchange for that, okay? So you don't have to I'm using $200 as a round number. Do something that's small, even if it's $50. Anything that you're doing is something, okay? Personally, I make it real low, like $50 or $25, because I'm going to make them, they're already going to believe I'm the #1 agent. They're going to think I'm doing all these transactions, but I want to be in a lot of schools. I'd rather be in 3 schools at $25 a pop than 1 school for $75, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show up to the PTA, and I'm going to introduce myself. And I'm going to say, yes, I'm the preferred realtor of the school. I got this deal. I'm doing this. I'm giving back $25, $50, $100, whatever it is. You know, I really invested in this school, okay? Now, that's the first step. I can't even tell you how many people I've showed, what I'm going to show you right now, have gone out there, talked to the principal, talked to the PTA, and that's it, never came back. They're like, Mark, I did what you said, and I didn't get no leads from the school. Well, of course not. Well, how did you cultivate that lead? How did you brand yourself at that school? Why didn't you go back to a PTA meeting? Why not when they were having their annual carnival or their dad dance or whatever their main fundraiser is? Why didn't you put a little banner of that on your website and then make sure you go back to the PTA? Oh, just let you know I have information on the cookie sale or the fundraiser here on my website. Show that you're actually active, so you get these parents feeling like guilty if they don't use you for a real estate transaction. Okay? That I don't want to say it, but I want to brand you so that subconsciously my message is, if you know somebody that needs real estate and you don't refer me, you don't want to help your school. That's the message I want to give them. I don't want to say it, but I can brand whatever message I want to them. Okay? Now, we just talked about that. We just talked about staying active. Okay? And we just talked about co-branding and promote their fundraisers. These are how these partnerships work. If you just everything is about effort, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't put the effort in, you're not going to get nothing back from it. You can't, there is no, I would love if there was a magic pill. I would love if I could come up here right now and say, this is the secret, okay? You go here and you push this button and you start making $150,000 a year. I would love to do that, okay? And in your industry, half the stuff you're told almost is packaged like that. It's almost like, you do this, you'll get all this. The truth is, there is no replacement for effort. So just besides the technology you have, besides all this cool stuff that you're going to even learn a little bit later on, the most important thing is to truly be a #1 agent. Whether you are the #1 agent in sales, I'm going to show you how you're going to already brand that illusion, so that's fine. But you got to back it up. The real secret is, if there is such thing as a secret, the real secret is deception or perception or branding only gets you in the door. It doesn't close a deal. It doesn't create a relationship. Ultimately, the only thing that can create a relationship is you. So I'm going to show you all the tools to start that relationship. But you have to do the effort to cultivate it. And again, I totally wish there was, slip this in their drink and you got a customer that will refer you to everything. I wish I could. But there's honestly, I'm here to teach you real, applicable, and real world sales, okay? And that is the truth of real world sales. If you don't want to bust your butt and put the effort in, you're never going to get the return you think you're going to get. It's never going to happen. So, but you put the work in, here's what every successful salesperson will tell you, will agree with me, is what I'm going to tell you. As a salespeople, ultimately we have two fundamental goals. We don't really want to be in a cubicle working 9 to 5. And the other part is, we don't like having a ceiling cap on our salary potential. That's the most beautiful thing about being a salesperson or independent contractor, especially in sales. We don't have that ceiling. Meaning, like, I don't have to come in and go, okay, I'm making $22,000 a year. In 5 years, I'll make $30,000 a year. In 10 years, I'll retire at $8,000 a year, and this will be my retirement. So now I'll budget my monthly budget That's how 90% of America lives their life, okay? We go into sales because we're like, I want to make $250,000 a year. I'd like to be a millionaire. I want to be able to start my own business. I want to be able to do this. So we're motivated by that. But every business in the world, whether it's a real estate agent or whether it's somebody that just invented a product, they all work their butts off in the beginning. They slave. Guess what? Sometimes being your own business means you got to put in 60 hours a week, not 40. Most everyone I've known my whole life that owns businesses will tell you they have friends too that will always say, oh, you own your own business, you're so lucky. And everybody that owns their own business will always tell them, lucky. Try paying my bills each month. Try having my responsibilities. You know what you're making a month. I have to budget on, I have to go make this. This is my bills. I got to go out and make it. Okay? But the payoff is we don't have that limit though. We can make as much money as humanly possible that we want to go make if we put the effort in. So that's what we want to do, is start making big money. So the local business partnerships, let's talk about those. Okay? We already talked about that too. Do not trade for money. It isn't worth it. Don't worry about $25 a month, $50 a month. That's small potatoes, okay? What you want is that branding, that co-sponsoring relationship, especially with local businesses. Why? Because local businesses are best in that community too. Those local businesses are involved with the kids' baseball teams and the girls' soccer teams, and they know the parents in the community. They have a relationship in that community. So they are goldmine partners for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, because they will help brand you in those communities. So you don't want to do advertising deals on your website for money. All you want to do is trade. You just want to create that, start that relationship. Co-brand. Yes, I'm going to advertise your dry cleaners on my website, and I want to put my business card as your dry cleaner. So again, that first example I give you, I want to make it so that in my branded farm, people are seeing my name all the time. And they won't even, trust me, it's not even a conscious thing. It's not like they go home going, man, I saw that realtor's name in the subway and whatever it is. But it's amazing how it works. When they're in a conversation with somebody and somebody needs to know something about real estate, they won't even know why, but your name will come to their brain. Your name will come to their lips just because they've been branded and conditioned to your name. This is why branding is so important and so critical. Okay? So, we talked about creating an affiliate. Now, an affiliate works just like a sponsor, which we talked about Subway or all that stuff. So I already went through the whole thing here, how we created a link. Okay? And did that stuff. So now we're going to get into the most important thing you're probably going to learn today. And I know I've said it a bunch of times, there's a lot of important things. But everybody in this room knows what a paradigm is. If you don't be ashamed. I'll tell you just in case. A paradigm is how we see things. Okay? It's the way that we see things. So paradigms are powerful because they create the lens through which we see the world. The power of the paradigm shift is the essential power of quantum change. Okay? Whether that shift is an instantaneous shift or a slow and deliberate process. So that sounds like a bunch of well-timed out literary stuff. But what it means basically is that the way people see things, when something changes in that, and the perception changes, whether it's over a long period of time or whether it's something big, like all of a sudden there's an internet, okay? That can have quantum changes on many different facets of business, society, the way we view things, everything that we do. Stephen Covey, very, very important, okay? Now the next guy I want to tell you about is a guy that Mr. Kuntz here is very familiar with. Because this guy works for every major big company you could think of. Century 21 Corporate, they buy the films from this guy. His name's Joel Barker. He's a very, very famous futurist. Now what he said is that when there's a paradigm shift, when the perception of something changes, okay, all competitors in an industry, no matter what the industry is, come to zero. They all come to zero. And the company or competitor that can adjust to that shift, not just a little bit, will exponentially shoot ahead of the competition, okay? Exponentially. So what does that tell you? When something in an industry changes dramatically, everybody comes to here. No matter who was the number one, who was in last place, everybody comes here. And the person that changes and adjusts for that particular shift will be number one. So it doesn't matter if you were the least selling company in that industry, if you're the one that adjusts for that shift, you will be the number one in that company. It's a historical fact. It's just been proven through the time of the stock market crash in the 20s to today. Okay? Now, here's something very, very important. Have you guys, the real estate industry, in the last several years, have you had a change in your business? Has it been like a tiny little change, or would you say it's a big change? Would we say it's a quantum change? Okay. So now here's the million-dollar question, ladies and gentlemen. What are you doing different? What are you doing different today that you were doing when the market was ablaze and on fire? You know, and we were selling houses like they were hotcakes. Now here's the big secret. Don't feel bad because nobody else is doing anything different either. No brand, no company, nobody's doing anything different except for that gentleman right back there, Mr. Tom Denny. He understands that. That's why he's bringing this stuff to you guys. That's why I'm here. That's why we're doing what we're doing, because we want to be that one that adjusts for the shift. Okay? I'll tell you a little secret about the evolution of how big this plan is. It starts with you guys because you guys are the ground troops. You know? President Bush and President Obama don't go out there and fight wars. Okay? It's the troops that go out there and do it. They're the ones that make this country great. So you guys are our troops. So it's important that you're well-equipped and well-trained, and you go out there and be our soldiers. Okay? So here's the big secret. It's all about changing a branding, and it all starts with baby steps. I'll give you one small example. I don't want to pair with somebody's iPad. That was weird. Okay. Here's one example. We all in this room know about the property websites now, right? Okay. They sound like a little thing, but they're a great thing because nobody's doing that. It's already given you a huge advantage in the marketplace. But let's even just jump ahead here and put on our future goggles and look into the near future. How about when those property sites become buyer sites? How about when those property sites turn into a welcome website and a family website for that new owner that just bought that house? And now there you have a direct portal to brand and market to that new consumer. Whether it be Home Depot coupons, whether it be for their next real estate purchase 5 years from now, whether you can start conditioning them as a customer. These are things and ideas that are in place even now. So everything that's going here is about these paradigm shifts. Everything that Tom Denny and B-Side is doing is about taking advantage of this real estate change, not wallowing in it, not being crying about it, but capitalize and take advantage. Because guess what? We do know it's a seller's market. We do know inventory's low. We do know the inventory's changed. But guess what? There are still real estate transactions. Yes? There are still money to be made out there. Yes? So the difference is there's not a world of it to share. There's not like there's 1,000 real estate transactions going on for 100 agents to just go out there and get fat off the lamb and get as many as you can get. It's actually the opposite now, isn't it? There's 1,000 real estate agents trying to get the 100 transactions that are out there. But the transactions are still out there. So the difference is, the change of perception is going to be, we want to put you and B-Side exponentially ahead of everybody else. So that it's easy. So that, yeah, you know what? Yeah, the market's a little bit lower, but guess what? We have 80% of the market. Who cares how low the market is at that point? If you guys monopolize the market and have most of the transactions, how do we do that though? We do that by changing the way we do real estate. And by what I mean by that is we start going after consumers now. Okay? We don't look at a business model of, well, this is the #1 agent in Century 21 over in Concord, California, so let's move that agent over here to Los Angeles because she's good, so she'll start getting good sales here. We're going to change our mentality. We're going to brand our company so that customers want to use Beachside. The public already wants to go to Beachside. So now they're coming to us. Again, referrals. We want people coming to us. We don't want to have to go out and find them. We want people coming to Beachside. We want people recognizing us when we go introduce ourselves. They already know. They're already branded. They're, oh, I know what Beachside does. This company is far above ahead of everybody else. So we really want to change these perceptions. So, we already talked about this. You all agree? There's definitely been a shift. So I propose to you what we just talked about. Really think about it and think about what you can do different. Because you want to be the one that jumps along that ship. Because even though Tom's doing it with technology, just like I talked about in the very beginning, you have to put the effort in there and do it. We can give you the world, but if you don't go out there and implement it, it's not going to do anything for you. Okay? So now we talked about paradigms, right? So now let's talk about how we manipulate that image and perceptions of the public. Okay? So, the first secret is, and this is a big one, because all of you make the same mistake, I want you to start selling to your customers' paradigms and not your own. Okay? Most everybody in this room, you sell what you think somebody wants. You sell how you think you're going to be perceived. You sell how you think that that's going to be received. I want you to stop that. Okay? I don't want you to, there is no one, here's the other big secret. There's no one way to sell. There is no one way to sell. There's no, hey guys, here's step 1, say hello. Here's step 2, take off your hat. Here's step 3, shake your hand. Here's step 4. That doesn't work. It just doesn't, it might work on Tom, but it ain't going to work on Mary over here. Okay? What I want you to do is start selling to your customers' paradigms. What I mean by that is you individually sell. Like the example I gave you in the beginning. I sold a surfer story, okay, to Greg Wadley, okay? But my next customer might have been head over heels in ballet. Then guess what? I'm into ballet like nobody's business. I go to ballets every week. I got a daughter in ballet. I'm going to go on the internet and learn about ballet. I'm going to be talking about ballet. I'm going to be in ballet for that customer. Okay? Because I'm going to create a relationship with them. I'm going to create a bond with that customer. And I'm going to build that customer as a relationship. Okay? So I want to sell to the way people look at things. And a lot of you don't really realize how people look at things. Because again, that's why the #1 agents, they jump on that #1 word. Yeah, I'm #1, I'm #1. I'd rather my customer think I'm #1 for whatever reasons they think make #1. Not because what I think makes #1. Okay? So, and I'm going to show you how we let customers make their own assumptions. Okay? So number 2 is we have to be #1. Whether you are and now I'll even be specific. I'm talking about sales here. I'm talking about making money. I need you to be and look and act the part even before you get there. Okay? I don't want you using the excuse, well, as soon as I get to be #1, I'm going to start acting like this and looking good. No, you need to do it now. Okay? You need to achieve something, you have to believe it. And you have to already be living it. Yes. Nobody, when you set a goal, you can't be like, well, okay, I hope I make this goal. I hope it happens. But guess what? It ain't never going to happen. You're never going to make the goal. You got to make the goal and already start telling yourself, man, this is what people are going to say when I get this. This is how people are going to see me. You got to already visualize you having that goal already achieved and already being in that role. So I want you to be #1 right now. I don't care if you can barely put gas in your car. You need to act and be like you're a #1 real estate agent. Okay? To create a sense of demand. Okay? You're probably going to think I'm crazy for this, but how about this? Every one of us in this room, or most of us in this room right now, I bet are sure happy and quick to sign a contract. That customer's like, you know what? We've decided we're going to use you to list our house. Here you go. You're trying to get that contract signed right up. How about this? I would like you to not do that. When they're ready to sign a contract, I would love for you to say, as crazy as it sounds, I'd like you to be able to say, hold on just 1 second. I just want to call my assistant. And by the way, whether you have an assistant or not, I just want to call my assistant, and I just want to make sure that we can fit you in. Okay? I'm sure we can, but I just want to double check. I want to make sure that we can take you. Because what I want to do is when I'm out there, I'm going to create a sense of that this is the level of service that I give for customers. It is so high that I can only handle a certain amount of customers. Because I also don't want them to think that I got assistants doing my work or doing this. I wanted them to think I got assistants filing escrow papers for me, scheduling contractors, scheduling home inspections, that bull crap. But when it comes to actually engaging and selling their property, that I'm doing it for them. And that my time is so valuable, I can only do this much. Now, I don't care if I don't even have a customer. I'm going to walk outside and I might just check, Yahoo and see what the weather is in Wisconsin. But I'm going to come back in a minute later. Great news. Okay, we can fit you in. Let's do this. Very excited to work with you. Okay? Now, the difference is twofold. Number one, I create a sense of demand, but it even goes deeper than that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to teach you some old school sales secrets here. The difference is too, now I've just changed the whole relationship between me and that customer. Okay? Because I am in demand. I do not want customers. I mean, I'll take any customer I can get. I will admit that. But I would prefer not to have customers who think they own me, who think I'm at their disposal. Because those customers, guess what? No matter how hard you work for them, they're never going to think you did enough. And those customers aren't the ones that are going to refer you. Okay? They're just not. I want to be the one in demand. I already, by that example I just showed you, I've already created mentally, subconsciously with that customer, a position of power. Meaning that they already feel they're lucky to use me. Okay? So I've already eliminated, right in the beginning of that sales process, subliminally in their mind, any doubt of the level of service they're getting. It's up to me now to screw it up. So this one goes right back to what I told you guys before. I can give you the tools to get in the door, but you still got to follow it up. We don't want to use that and have that perception, then stop answering phone calls, don't follow up to them, don't give them updates. This is the other thing too. A lot of you get in the bonehead habit of responding to customers whenever they ask for something. Okay? Bonehead move. How about just reaching out sometimes? That's the most powerful thing you can do in a customer relationship is when you just call them when they're not expecting it. They're not even expecting it. Hey, just want to let you know, I ran this ad. Man, the response was great. We had like 60 phone calls. I think that I'm probably going to do another open house next week just to accommodate this. Okay? Just little follow-ups like that. You want them like, wow. Because we're going to create the brand that we're going above and beyond, and we're this superstar agent, but we have to actually do it, okay? We have to not only talk the talk, we need to walk the walk. But everything I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, come on. It's not hard. I'm not asking you to break your back. I'm not asking you to go out there and do hard physical manual labor. I'm asking you to go out there and just be the best at what you do. And if you don't want to do that, then why be an agent in the first place? It's not my job to coddle you today. It's not my job to tell you, hey, you can do it. You should all want to do it. We should all want to make money. If you don't want to make money, the door's right there. Just go. Just go now, and I'm doing you a favor. I'm not being mean. I'm doing you a favor because you're not going to struggle and bitch and moan and be unhappy about not making money as a salesperson. Because the reality is, too, sales isn't for everybody. A lot of people who think that sales is for them, it ain't. It's just not for them. Because that first thing I told you, that's the key ingredient. You got to be able to make friends. You got to be able to walk up to anybody and say, hi man, I'm Mark Cobb from Beachside. Here's my business card. I'd love to do business with you. I'd like to get to know you. Let's go to lunch sometime. If you can't do that, sales ain't for you. No matter what tricks you got, no matter what internet package you buy, no matter what you think, no matter who's working with you, it ain't going to work for you. So you need to start getting in that mentality now. Commit, There's, excuse my language, but there's an old school saying from my dad, I came from a military family, shit or get off the pot. That's it. So that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to go forward, and you guys can do it. And if you do this, we can be successful, okay? I'll tell you a little secret right now. Most all brokers have only like a 20% rate of agents that make money for them. That's true. I mean, I don't know, Tommy wants me to tell you that, but it's true. The average broker across the world, they're lucky if they get 20, 25% of their agents that actually make them some good money. Okay? So going into this, my whole goal was to make this 50%. I want within the next year or two,
I want half, at least, I'd love to have 80 or 70, but I'm being realistic. I would like to have at least 50, 60% being professional, great earners, meaning making 100,000 plus a year in this company. And I'll tell you a little secret. If we do this together, Tom won't only be the most successful company in Southern California, he'll be the most successful real estate broker in the world. Okay? Because nobody's got a 50 or 60% success rate of people making 100 grand. They just don't. It just doesn't work like that. Okay? So this is almost like a cattle call industry. Okay, bring them in. I got 100 agents. Maybe 2 or 3 of them are actually going to do good. Okay? That's the way this industry is normally tailored. But that's what that gentleman right back there, he actually wants to change that. He cares about you. He really, truly does, or he wouldn't even be doing this system. He's doing it because what he says is, okay, let's at least give everybody a fighting chance. Instead of a cattle call, where here you go, we'll see who rises to the occasion, who can figure it out on their own and do it. Let's say, everybody, here's all the tools you need. It's on you. Go out and do it. So all of you have the ability to go out and do this. So now, we should be able to see those ratios. Because what it's all going to come down to is who wants to make money and who doesn't. Who wants to put the work in. And I really believe, maybe I'm naive, but I believe at least half of you in this room want to make money. I believe it. And I also believe at least half of you in the room do understand that, and I'm probably going to have to do some work to get that done. Okay? So, image is absolutely everything. So let's talk about manipulating images. Okay? Let's look at perception versus a fact. Okay? Number 1. Here's a flyer from agent number 1, just like I told you. If the number 1 agent in Huntington Beach, I guarantee you on all their marketing they use number 1 agent in Huntington Beach. Everywhere I've gone, I've seen it. Okay? So, how about this? I'm not the number 1 agent in Huntington Beach. But my flyer, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go and I'm going to pick, I'm going to go on the MLS and I'm going to find houses that sold in Huntington Beach that sold fast and for what the asking price was or more. Okay? And we know in this market that's actually easy to find because transactions happen quick now. Okay? We have backup offers after backup offers. So, and again, before I get into this, remember I told you in the beginning too, there is no formula for sales. You have to adjust your sales to not only your industry, but to your market. Okay? Like for example, right now we're in what? Are we in a buyer or seller's market? Sellers, of course. So honestly, how we're going to sell in a seller's market is different to how we're going to sell in a buyer's market. But I don't care about a buyer's market right now. You know what? When it's a buyer's market, I'll come back and I'll teach you how to sell that. Let's work with reality right now. Okay? So in a seller's market, the way we're going to sell is we need to get those sellers. Now how we're going to get those sellers is it's more demand now. It's harder because there's more competition because there's more agents trying to get those sellers. So now it's all about branding to sellers to try to get listings because getting buyers is the easy part now. Getting listings is what we want. Okay? So, again, he's going to send out flyers saying I'm number 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the MLS. I'm going to find properties that sold super fast and at a good price for more or less the asking price. My flyer is simply going to be this. This house, listed, sold. This house, listed, sold. This house, listed, sold. And if it was more, I'll say sold over asking price. Sold in 10 days. Listed, sold 10 days. After blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put like 6 or 7 of those on a flyer. And at the bottom, I'm going to put, when you're ready to sell your house quick, call me. Okay? That's the kind of flyer I'm going to send out. Okay? Now, the perception is, take yourselves out of your real estate mind for just a second. Okay? Because one thing is we're talking about perception. You guys are realtors. So you deal with realtors. Just like with videos, we're going to talk about in a few minutes too. It's funny. Because the only people that care about cool videos are realtors. And other realtors, that's it. The public doesn't. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the average person, consumer, they see that flyer. Never do they have an internal conversation with themselves. I wonder if the pictures on this site, on this flyer, were actually sold by the agent saying, call me for a house if you need to sell a house. It doesn't have people. I wish people had that kind of analytical decision-making process on every single thing they saw and did, but we don't. I don't. People look at things, in 2 seconds they assess it, throw it away, or whatever it is. Whatever they're going to do with it doesn't matter. It's a quick, instant blast and a brand. The average person is just going to associate your name with those houses being sold. Nowhere on the flyer did I say, I sold these houses. Check out the houses I represented. I never said that. I just showed a bunch of houses that moved real quick in the neighborhood and said, call me when you're ready to move your house. Because I want the perception, rather than the perception of that, again, selling to their perception. I don't want the customer's perception of, oh, he's a number 1 agent. He makes more money than other agents. Heck no. I want the perception of them being, wow, that guy sells houses fast and gets the money they ask for. Because that's more valuable than a #1 sticker to that particular consumer. This is the kind of branding I'm going to do in a seller's market. I want those sellers to think they're better off with me than with everybody else. Okay? So, give you another example. Perception versus fact. Okay? This is a flyer this guy sends out. All of his advertising, I searched him online. His flyers, his business card, everything always is. He's the top office individual producer. And you know what? I'm an average customer. I don't even know what the word producer means. Thinks you make movies. Okay? I don't know things like sides and closings. All I know is like sales and I'm #1. I don't even care about the word #1. The flyer I just told you about is going to blow. I'm going to think, if I need to sell my house, man, I'm calling that guy sells houses quick. He gets you what you ask for. Okay? Okay? This guy, Danny Ross. See what he does? Now you want to hear the real killer part? I went and researched the flyer. He wasn't the listing agent on none of those properties. Not a one. But guess what? Look at that flyer and tell me if you think he didn't move those houses right after, just that's your initial first brand. It never crosses your mind that that's not his properties or that he wasn't involved in those real estate transactions. It never crossed your mind unless I told you. Okay? But this is marketing. This is how powerful perception is. This is what I want you guys to understand. Okay? Your websites, your flyers, everything is about perception. Okay? I already talked about being #1. It's very easy, honestly, to look #1 because the customers will make their own assessments of what's #1 simply by the quality of your marketing and your advertising. Okay? This guy sends out this flyer on the house. Okay? This is how his flyers look. He uses a template form. Every one of the flyers he sends out. Okay? Now let's look at this flyer. Okay? Now here is a fact and a secret. Okay? The first flyer I showed you, I researched the guy. He sells like triple the amount of homes as the guy that put out this flyer. He's a #1 agent in his office. He uses those crappy flyers. Now he's also in Concord, California, or not Concord, but Stockton. He's up in Northern California, but he has some crappy flyers. This guy here was more of a starting agent down at the bottom. This team here, I put that there. The point is that the perception of the public, okay? You see a flyer like this. Now here's the real killer part. The difference in cost of those two flyers, what do you think it is? 0. 0. And I'm going to show you. You can make a flyer like this or a flyer like the other one in the same amount of time, the same amount of investment. It's the same. So why on earth would you want to put out something crappy? You start branding yourself, and I guarantee you, when people see this, and this is the kind of flyers that you're making on the property, their perception is that you're a better agent than the other flyers they're used to seeing. All of this stuff is put into branding. Okay? Let's look at it one more time. That versus that. I don't need to sell you the difference of those two. It should be pretty darn obvious. Okay. Now, let's talk about something else. We're going to talk about domain names now and how to drive people to your website. Very important. Okay? Now, what I was doing was I looked up this guy, Freddie Hindi. Okay? I went and looked for him personally. I went into Google and put Century 21 agent Freddie Hindi. Because let's say I met him at a grocery store and I wanted to go find him. When I typed in, you know what I got? I got his Century 21 site. So you think, awesome! Century 21 is marketing me. You know, they market him. Great. Let them spend the money. That's awesome. But let's see what happened when I clicked on the link to Freddie Hindi. It took me to the Century 21 corporate site, and this is his Century 21 website. Is a page on century21.com of Freddie Hindi. Okay? And then I have, everybody see that up on the right-hand side what it says? How do I get a hold of Freddie Hindi? Anybody see that? Contact office? Nowhere on this page is Freddie Hindi's cell phone number. Nowhere on this page is Freddie Hindi's email address. Nowhere on this page is anything that's going to even get to Freddie Hindi. Okay? So Freddie Hindi is getting marketed by Century 21 to get leads to Century 21. So when I contact this, it's going into Lead Router, and it's going into, it's getting forwarded to the company from Century 21 Corporate. Do you think Freddie Hindy's getting too many of these leads that come from these searches on his website? Absolutely not. Okay? This is the power of having you, why you want to start driving people and driving your own leads. Okay? Now, this is a real website. From my research, she's one of the top real estate agents in California, in the United States, actually. Tom, you ever heard of her? Karen Liss? She's from Northern California, one of the top agents. Her website. When I went and searched her name, Karen Liss, age 21, her links comes up. I click it. I go to her own website. So what's the difference? Just like what you guys have now, I contact, I'm going directly to her. I text, I'm going directly to her. I search for properties, I go to her. Every top agent has their own brand, has their own website, has their own means of contact, does their own brand. So if you want to be number one, what? You need to do what the number one people do. So I already talked about at the beginning, we need to be number one right now. So make sure you have a website, make sure you have a brand, and you, again, never sell from a point of weakness. You want people wanting to work with you. Be on an equal social level with the client. Goes right back to my surfing story once again. Whatever your customers are into, I want you to be into. A true salesman will tell you two things. A, I'm a jack of all trades. B, I don't know a lot about nothing, but I know a little bit about a whole lot of stuff. That's it. I am not a professional in absolutely nothing, but I can pretty much carry a conversation with you about any hobby you got in this room. Throughout the years of selling, I've accumulated knowledge from everything from glass blowing to golf to scuba diving. So, and believe me, I'm a better man for it. I've enjoyed my life doing it. I enjoy what I do. But that's really the secret of sales too. If you come in every day and you feel like it's a job, and you feel like, I gotta make 10 phone calls, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, you ain't gonna be a success. Hate to clue you, ain't gonna work. Then how do we make our job fun? How do we enjoy our job? If you're like me, you like making friends, get in the friend business, okay? Come to work and think, I'm gonna make some friends today. I'm going out, I'm gonna have some fun. The most money I've ever made was on golf courses, on dive boats, on vacations, having cocktails at a restaurant. Honestly, those are the best deals I've ever made. Because I made relationships with people, and this is where I've closed deals, okay? It wasn't on a cold call, that's just ways I get in the door, okay? So I want you guys to have the same mentality. Now, power of video. Everybody get your pens and stuff out. We're going to be watching videos here in a second. We're getting on the free man wagon now. I want everybody in here, when you leave this room, no more excuses. Because I'm going to show you how to make videos for absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a cent. And it's done fast and quick. So no excuses. I want everybody in here to start having at least 2 or 3 videos for every single property they represent from now on. Okay? Videos are powerful. Okay? The #2 song in America right now is Thrift Shop. Okay? And it's been #2 for like 6 weeks. Huh? Oh, now it's #1. And it's been on the chart for what, 6, 7 weeks? These guys don't even have a record deal. I mean, I'm sure they do now, but they didn't even have a record deal. They don't have any CDs out. You can't even buy their song. They're guys that made a video on YouTube. Now here's the real baffling part. How are they ranked on Billboard when they don't even have an album? And they're not even with a record company. They're just a YouTube video. Because video is so powerful that now Billboard is using YouTube hits to calculate rankings. And here's a big secret. Starting next year, Nielsen is going to do it too. They're going to start also ranking TV shows by how many downloads it gets on YouTube and how many subscriptions it gets on Hulu. That's how powerful video on the internet is. It's now being considered in global rankings. So video is, and don't you think you yourself, you do it too, you would much rather watch a 5-second video than read that same video in a 10-second blog? You would? Just the way people are. Videos are fast and easy. And not only that, but they just work. They look good. So I'm going to show you how to make the best videos. Now, the other thing is, here's the misconception too. One of the biggest frauds in this whole industry is these video and photo guys. I mean, my God, I did a search on Google. I literally found like 25 companies just here in Southern California to sell photography and video packages to real estate agents. 25! Well, we do this, we'll go out and take the photos. That's where I think it's the biggest joke of all. Do not do that. Now, if you do get the Portobello Mansion, okay, and it's a $50 million house, by all means, hire a helicopter, get a film crew, get Steven Spielberg. I don't care. I mean, you're going to be selling to sheiks, okay? But for every other house, absolute waste of money, okay? I know you've all seen them. I know you've seen the video where the music starts and the realtor's picture comes in across the top and then the slideshow starts and you're like, man, that's a really good video. You know who cares about that? You. That's it. And other agents. That's it. You think a customer ever once said, honey, that house is gorgeous. I don't even want to go look at it now. Did you see the quality of that video? Forget it. I don't want to go see that house. Never happened. Never happened once. Not even for a photo, not nothing. And here's the other big secret. Your phone that every one of you have in this room right now takes just as good video quality as the most expensive video camera 5 years ago was. The most expensive professional high-definition video camera, we're talking a $10,000 camera, your cell phones today have the same pixels and the same quality as those cameras. That's how fast technology has come. So nobody's phone makes crappy, 8 millimeter type videos, okay? They all look more than good enough. And here's a secret too. You don't need an editing company, okay? You don't need somebody doing the transition of the slideshows. And then most of the videos they're selling you, that's what they are too. They're not even real videos. They're just slideshows of different pictures changing in a video. That's not a damn video. People want to see a video. You know what's going to impress me as a homeowner? New house, an uplift. Beautiful, gorgeous master bathroom. His and her walk-in closet is 200 square feet. Look at that tub. Click. But I actually want to see the damn bathroom in a video, okay? So I don't need all that transitions. Now, the reason why those video companies get you is because they're like, oh, we have to edit the video. We have to put the music in. Nobody cares about the music. Nobody cares about the video progress. People just want to see videos. And here's the thing. So then you pay this money and you get this one video for the property. Excuse me. You know what looks more impressive to me? Is if I go on that listing and I see 3 videos. I'd rather see 3 videos that are 30 seconds each than one 1.5 minute video. And guess what? Everybody else consumer would too. And here's the other advantage. Subliminally, again, it's all back to subliminal marketing. It gives me a sense of empowerment that I can choose which video I want to watch. It's the stupidest thing, but it's a reality. All these little things add up. And it makes the listing look more powerful because it's a numbers game. I don't care if it has one gorgeous video. Subliminally in a customer's mind, they're going to be more impacted by a listing that has 3 videos just because it's more. Because we're in a quantity equals better society. Okay? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my cell phone. I'm going to do a quick, and we all know how to sell. We know what the highlights of the house are. If it has a great backyard or the view or the kitchen or whatever the highlights are of the house, I'm going to make a quick little 35-second video of this. Now watch what I'm going to show you. We're going to watch this video. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to YouTube. We're all going to have YouTube accounts. Totally free. Okay? On my phone, I'm going to download the YouTube app so I can just post videos straight to my YouTube channel. Okay? I'm going to sign into my video after I go put my video up on YouTube, which once I take the video with my phone, here's the bathroom, up, share to YouTube. So I'm going to go, and I'm going to go to my account, which is real simple. I click my little logo up there, and then I click my channel. All my videos that I upload to YouTube are going to come up. So I'm going to select whatever video I want, and once I select whatever one of my video I want, the video is going to load. Now once the video loads, all I'm going to do is copy the web address of that video. That's it. So at the top of the screen, the browser window, I'm just going to copy the web address of the window. Then I'm going to go to a company's, there's millions of free websites out there. Keepvid.com is my personal favorite one. KEEPVID.com. I'm going to go to and these websites, you don't sign up, you don't do anything. Watch. I go to the website, all I do is paste the YouTube address. That's all I do. And then I click the download button. And then look what it does. It gives me all these versions of the video files, FLV, MP3, and whatever I want. All of them. 3GPs, WT Teams, MP3s, FLV, everything I want. So I'm going to grab an MP4, whatever your MLS, whatever format that they want, which is usually FLV. That's like a universal format, just so you know. And it downloads the actual video file for me. Okay? This is why most of you get hustled by these video companies, because on the MLS, you can't put a link to YouTube. You got to actually upload the video. So you take the video on your phone, but you don't have a video file. Well, this is how easy it is. It took me, what? 20 seconds on that video to turn that YouTube video into an actual video file. I can upload that to my website now. I can put that video in links. I can upload that video to the MLS, add it to the listing, everywhere the video goes. That fast. And now I have an actual video file of my video. So that's all I want you to do with your phone. Just take a quick video in there, okay? New property, 1234 Albert Street, gorgeous kitchen, cherrywood cabinets, side-by-side freezer. Click. And what am I going to name the video? Kitchen. Just like we do now with photos. We take a photo, master bedroom, blah, blah. Use videos. Very, very powerful, okay? Super easy. Same thing on your website. Don't put, hi, welcome to my website. When you could take your phone and go, hi, Mark Kaufman, Century 21 Beachside, welcome to my website. So much more powerful when they land on my website and they see that than just some text words, okay? That's how we want to start. They instantly feel more connected to me just seeing a video of my face than seeing my mugshot with a welcome tag. These are all things we want to start doing to get ourselves in there. So, now the big one, I know you guys want. But, Amy, now this is part where normally I keep going, but I do want to stop because it is so powerful. Does any of you have any questions on the video, what I just explained about using your phone? It's pretty simple, but don't be embarrassed because I want you to know. No, good. Oh, you have one. Go ahead.
Okay, I know that on the materials you have a video on how to do this, right? Would there be a way on some of the stuff, the more complicated stuff, to also get it like a step-by-step? Because sometimes when you're on there trying to do it, it's hard to be watching the video while you're doing it.
Understand.
Like
This isn't a sales training. I just want to make sure you understood how to take a video and put it on YouTube.
Yeah,
but I will say one thing right here. Because this is a question I've gotten from a lot of agents about, I'm trying to watch a video, I'm trying to do this. Let me tell you a little secret. Any system on the internet is browser registered. What that means is you can open your Beachside system account in Chrome and you can open it up in the internet at the same time. Okay? You can be logged in as long as it's two different browsers. So this is a big trick for all of you that want to learn, you want to watch the videos and do stuff. Open and log into your account in two separate browsers, two windows. So open Firefox, for example, and log in, and then open Explorer and log in. Then open the training video in the one, and like Firefox. Then in this window, you're doing what the video says. You need to slow down, pause. You assent, go back, play. If you try to watch the video and do it in the same screen, you got to remember what you saw in the video. It's so much easier if you open two screens like that. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's talk about, again, we talked about quality leads. Today, again, I think so. This is like number 10 most important thing you're going to learn today, right? But this is probably the most important thing you're going to learn today, okay? So before we take a break, we're going to learn this right now because this is money right here, okay? This is the best lead generation tool in the United States right now that most of you are not using right, okay? So let me show you how we use this right, okay? Craigslist is powerful. If you do what I'm going to show you right now, you're going to start driving leads to yourself every day, much more than you're getting from anywhere other source. You can drive really good leads from here every single day. And let me show you how we want you to do that. Number one is, this is a big mistake that everybody does. They put an ad on Craigslist, okay? I've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Huntington Beach, $300,000. So what do? They go to Craigslist, they put an ad, 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, bath house, Huntington Beach, $200,000, and they put a picture up, okay? That's what they do. And then maybe they put a link somewhere. Okay, what I've just done is, I've narrowed my lead capture to only the people that are interested in that particular house, at that particular price, with that number of bedrooms and baths. That's the only leads I'm going to capture from that post, okay? I did not maximize my efforts, okay? Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go to Craigslist, and I'm going to run an ad, so I'm going to do posted classifieds. And for this one, I'm going to do a house for sale, okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to do one in Long Beach. What I'm going to put in there is I'm going to put $100,000 as the price. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 bedrooms, 2,700 square feet. My posting title is going to be Long Beach Homes from $100,000, okay? Now what I'm going to do is watch. I'm going to go to my own website, and I'm going to do a search on my website for all Long Beach homes. All of them that are for sale. Okay? Now this is a general example for an entire city. I want you to even narrow it down even more. You could do all the homes with a bath and Huntington Beach, all the homes with a pool, whatever. But you're going to get the idea from this. So I'm going to go to my website, on my system. I'm going to launch my website. And then I'm going to do a property search, in this particular case, for Long Beach homes. I don't want just one Long Beach homes. I want lots of Long Beach homes, okay? So I'm going to go search Long Beach. Then once I search Long Beach, I'm going to copy the URL of my search result, which is here. See? Gives me my URL. Now here's the secret with Craigslist. It recognizes HTML, which means web code. You guys can make code anytime you want on your own websites. Super simple. So I'm going to go to my website and go like add a blog. I'm not going to keep it. I just need to use the tool I have. So I'm going to type in, click here for homes and for $100,000 homes in Long Beach, whatever I'm going to type. I can put pictures in here now. I can make my ad as cool as I want to look on Craigslist. Okay? Now once I link it up, remember, all I got to do is click HTML down here and I'm going to see the coded version. So I can copy that code and I can just paste the code on Craigslist and Craigslist will recognize the code and change it back to a web page. That's the magic secret that nobody knows about Craigslist. You can make your own links on Craigslist, you can make searches, you can do all kinds of stuff because you can make your own code in your own system anytime you want. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to link now to my click here. I'm going to make a link to that to my actual search page on my website. So that way when people click my click here on Craigslist, they're going to go to my website to where all the homes in Long Beach are available are already right there. And guess what? The link is live to my MLS search, so every time they click it, it's whatever's available right now on the MLS. Because my website feeds from the MLS. So it's not those same houses. If they click the link tomorrow, it's going to be whatever homes are available tomorrow on the MLS. Okay? So now I pasted that code from the HTML site into Craigslist. I went and added a photo. For that is use Century 20, you get the idea. Add a photo of the property. Now there's my ad. There's my ad on Craigslist. Long Beach homes for $100,000. Now they're clicking here, they're going right to my search page. So every house they select, every lead they do, every contact for more information, everything they do, where's it going? Right to me. Okay? But the difference is what? I'm not marketing a house in Long Beach, am I? So now I'm capturing every single person on Craigslist who's looking for a house in Long Beach. Not just that one house I was trying to market. This is how I drive leads to my website. Okay? Now I'm getting everybody that's interested in a house in Long Beach clicking my link that wants to see what's available. Okay? This is the way that we maximize our efforts on the Craigslist. Okay? Same thing for our Facebook. Okay? We talked earlier about buyer market and seller market, right? In a buyer market, I would be telling you guys, create a Facebook page for every single one of your properties. We have a property account, right? So once we get our property system for each house, go into Facebook, create your own Facebook page just for that house, okay? But we're not in a buyer's market. We're in a seller's market. So the truth is, by the time you finish making that Facebook page, there's probably a backup offer on that house, okay? So we don't want to do that. But here's what I do want you to do in a seller's market. I want you to go to create a Facebook page for all your farm areas and break it down depending on how big your farm is. For example, I'm not going to want an Orange County page, but I'm going to go make a Facebook page, Newport Beach Properties page on Facebook. I'm going to make a Laguna Niguel Properties page on Facebook, or a Santa Ana Garden Grove, or South Orange County Properties page on Facebook. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is, yeah, when I have my property, I'm going to add that on my Facebook page. But guess what else I'm going to add on my Facebook page? Every other property I want to add on there. Okay? Now, here's the thing. The rules state a listing has to show the listing agent and the listing broker. Okay? That's true. And they do. They do on your website when people do property searches. It's in the property details. They do on Realtor.com. They do everywhere. Okay? Nowhere does it say you have to list the agent name and broker on a referral. What I mean by that is I can go on Craigslist or anywhere. I can go on my Facebook right now and I can say, check out this great home. And I can put a link to that house where on my website, it's showing that property. It shows the listing agent and the broker. I don't have to say, go here and check out this house that's listed by John Trulio from Prudential, California. You don't have to say that. I can direct anybody anywhere I want. Okay? And remember we talked about perception. Okay? So when I put on Facebook a picture of a house, which I can do, and a link, click here, and they click here and they go to my website, and then they're on the property details for that website, I can totally do that for 100 houses. And then each time they click on contact, schedule a showing, you know, apply for a loan, refer a friend, whatever it wants, who's getting the lead? Me, okay? Now here's the secret. They're never dawning on them. It's not even that it's not dawning on them. It's not even crossing their mind. It's not even a wasted thought of, are these houses actually this realtor? They don't care. It's all branded perception, okay? They're just getting to what they want. Honestly, people don't even have the time or gumption to worry about the legalities or the technicalities or the who's listing this. They just want what they want to see. And then they just want a contact button. And they're going to use whatever's there. Nobody ever on the internet, except maybe another real estate agent, ever went on a listing and even crossed their mind before, well, wait, before I hit this contact button, is this going to the listing agent or is this going somewhere else? Never dawns on them. And it's just not. I mean, it's naive to think it would. It's just, oh man, I want to see this house. How do I contact about it? That's it. So the person who wins is the person who can get their contact information as quickly as possible in front of that consumer that is interested in that property. Okay? So instead of making a Facebook page for a house, make a Facebook page for a market. Make a Facebook page for an industry, an area. And then the same thing I just showed you guys there, do the same thing. Do a property search on your own website. Go to a house, because that copy URL is on every single listing. Not just every search result, it's on every single listing. So copy that URL and then go put that on your Facebook page. So what I'm telling you to do is, yeah, don't make a Facebook page for a house. Make a Facebook page and constantly have 10, 15, 20 houses on there. Now Facebook's paying off for you, okay? Now you're marketing areas. Now people have a resource and a reason to go to that Facebook page because there's new listings on there all the time for that particular market, that particular area. Some of you may have a farm that includes like a senior community or a private community. That is the perfect place for you to market for that. Create a Facebook page for that particular community. Then go on the MLS and pull the houses for that community and have it on that page. And then you can put great things on that page too, like information about the community, HOAs, pool stuff, golf, whatever it's got. But make it a resource so now people that are interested in that community, they know where to go for that. Okay? So make that work for you. So, that's the secret to using Craigslist and all marketing though, okay? Do we understand the difference? We don't want to market one thing. We want to market in generalities to bring as much traffic to us as we can, okay? We never want to say, check out this house. We'd much rather say, check out houses like these, okay? Because we don't want to alienate any potential lead just because that didn't meet its specific requirements. You know how hard it is to actually put one thing in front of somebody that's exactly what they're looking for? It's very, very difficult. So your window of leads is going like this by the second. As every detail you put up. You start here and you're all 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 3,000 square feet, homeowners association, pool, or not. You're narrowing down your window with every detail you put about the house. So we want to use what I call teasers. We just want to use something that grabs that consumer and makes them want to get more information. But the secret to that is you make it easy. If you make a link and they go to something and they don't immediately see what they're expecting, you'll lose them just like that. That's why we link to what we said. The only way it works is on that Craigslist ad, if when they click it, what's the first thing they see? Whoop! There's a bunch of Long Beach houses right there. They can start scrolling through and see them. Okay? So we don't do like a link to our contact page. All you're going to do then is piss somebody off. Click, man, right back. Close window, back to Craigslist. Look at a different ad. Okay? So be smart about our marketing, but we want to engage these users. We want to drive them. But the real secret of what I'm telling you is we want to squeeze every possible lead or resource we can out of our efforts. Whatever we do, what we want is maximum results for everything we do, right? That's how I want you to think about it. And if you just think about that, a lot of the stuff I'm telling you is going to end up being common sense in a lot of other forms of marketing. Just whenever you're getting ready to do something, just think, is there a way I can do it that will actually maximize this? Am I getting the most out of what am I doing the way I'm doing it? If I do it differently, could I do it better? If you just do that little 3 or 4 second thought process on everything that you're doing, heck, you're going to come up with some fantastic sales ideas of your own. You're going to, just through the course of you knowing your own business or seeing what works and what doesn't, you're going to come up with other ways to maximize your efforts. But that's what we want to do, okay? The real way, if we want to make a lot of money, we have to maximize our efforts. We got to make everything we do bring in the potential, as much potential business as possible. So we don't want to, what I call cul-de-sac. We don't want to do our marketing where we're just cornered in this little cul-de-sac and we can only market to this particular area, okay? So, let's get into the big promise word I said earlier. Free, okay? That's our magic word today, okay? I want everybody to think of the word free. And this is the reason why. 99% of everything you do is free. On the internet, most everything that's on the internet, there's actually a free version of it. You know what the difference is 90% of the time? The only difference between a free version and a paid version 90% of the time is ads. That's it. So if it's stuff you need to do business, who gives a crap if it's got ads on it or not? If it works, it does what you need it to do. Okay? Take ego out of it. There's only 2 types of internet business models. Believe it or not. It's pretty shocking. But there is. No matter what, I don't care if it's Google, I don't care if it's Microsoft, doesn't matter. Any internet company in the world, there's only 2 business models. That's it. A subscription model. That means you have something online that people pay you for. They either pay one time or they pay every month. That's what 99% of the stuff that's sold to you guys is. Okay? It's prescription models. The next model is advertising models. That's where all the big money is. That's Google, Facebook, Twitter. Advertising models are, we give it away for free, but then we get all the users and we sell advertising space to people that want to market to those users. That is the biggest, most profitable model is the advertising model. That's why all the big companies use it. Unfortunately, it's also the hardest because it takes the most money to advertise to get those users. That's why most smaller businesses are subscription-based businesses. They want to charge you money to use their service. So having said that, almost every single business that's a subscription service, there's an advertising model version of it. Almost every single one. Okay? For example, the magic word is free. And what I mean by that is write it down if you have to. Write yourself a note. Always put free when I'm searching on Google. Okay? Just add the word free, whatever it is. If you go into Google and type contact manager, you're going to get 1,000 contact managers that are all going to cost you money the first 10 pages you see. But if you put that magic word in and go to Google and type free contact manager, this is the first thing that's going to come up. You're going to start getting all these free softwares that just want you to join, look at their ads, and here's the magic. You don't have to buy their crap, okay? You don't have to click the ads. Just don't worry about the ads, okay? Because 90% of free stuff, that's what's going to be the difference. It's going to do everything you need it to do, but it's going to have advertising on it. Okay, who cares? Now, another example. I went free flyer creator on Google. What came up? Lots of easy free flyer sites to go create gorgeous flyers like I was showing you. Absolutely free. Okay? Free widgets will blow your mind. I'll even do you one better. This is what you all should do tonight. Go onto Google and type free real estate widgets. Oh my God. There's hundreds. Literally hundreds. They have such cool widgets. They have live feed mortgage rates. That'll actually, the widget's live. It'll stream right from the stock exchange what the current mortgage rate is, and it changes all the time by the minute. I mean, they have cool stuff like that. You put that on your site, you have better widgets than your corporate sponsored branded sites do. Okay? All about image, looking great. Tons of widgets out there. There's widgets out there, chalk score widgets. There's school widgets. There's church widgets. There's a widget for a widget. Seriously. There's widgets out there that'll blow your mind. Just the magic word is what? Free. Everybody say it. Come on, free. That's what we do. We put free. That's all you got to do. Just remember, type the word free. Because if you don't type that word free, these guys aren't paying for it. So guess what? They don't come up number 1, 2, or even number 100. So you won't find them. But they come up just like that when you type the word free. They'll be the first thing that Google starts returning. Okay? This is even more free widgets. I couldn't even put them on one page to show you when I started putting in widgets. They even have, look at this. Free widget here. They even have an agent testimonial widget where you can start building all your own testimonials and stuff. They even have widgets where people can leave feedback for you on your website. There's so many cool things out there. And what's great is you guys have the ultimate tool because the system that we gave you allows you to put in code. So you can go get codes for anything. And there's so many cool free codes out there that you can use. Okay? Here's another cool one. Free foreclosure list. Okay? I typed this, and this is the first website that I came to was ushud.com. And that was the #1 on Google when I typed in free foreclosure list. It's awesome. I can go here, click California, pick my state. It'll instantly give me all the foreclosures in that city. This is 100% free. Okay? So you can go there and start doing this for your customers. Don't send your customers away from you. All I do is I go here to get the data, then I populate that on my website, click here to see the foreclosures in Anaheim today. You know? And then I'm just populating that information for them. Okay? Well, magic, oh, too many. Okay, so our magic word, once again,
free.
Okay, I want you guys to really say it. Sounds like we're farting around here, but seriously, some of you will go back on Google and forget to type the word free. So I want you guys to seriously think about that, okay? Because we're talking, there's transaction managers, there's marketing models, there's ad builders for LA Times, there's so much free stuff on the internet. It almost, like I said, just about everything you need. Heck, there's even free websites on the internet, okay? There's free everything that you need on the internet, okay? So when I did tell you in the beginning about ROI, I'm not asking you to go out there and buy a bunch of stuff. That's why I was serious. If it doesn't give you 3 times of your money, don't buy it. You know, I don't care what the sales pitch is. You don't need it. You really don't. Nothing's going to replace branding yourself, creating an image, building these relationships in your market, okay? And you guys can start very small, okay? Meaning that, hold on one second. I thought this was 3 hours.
Well, you took a break, remember?
Well, I was going to right after this, right after the free part. Okay. I know. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to give you a lot of information here. Now, she wants to go. When you guys want to spend your money, that's all I'm asking you to do is spend it wisely and think return on investment. That's all you got to do. Because what I want you to do is start small too. I'm giving you guys a lot of information. I'm not saying go out and make yourself the #1 agent in Orange County tomorrow. That's too big, okay? That's too big and too all-encompassing to try to do and go make friends with everybody in Orange County. Start off small and this is how all brands are built by every business. They start like this, and then they build like this. They build their brand out bigger, 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 bigger. So you know what? Give yourself a realistic goal. As salespeople too, we all have a certain amount of ADD in that we want results tomorrow. You know, we're salespeople. That's why we want to make money. Okay? So what we want to do is give yourself stuff to keep you motivated too, so that you can actually see results happening. If you walk in and go, okay, my goal is I'm going to make $250,000 this year, and last year if you made 30 grand, okay, that's not really cool. That's not realistic. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. 6 months in, you're going to be like, I am never going to make $250,000 this year. It ain't going to happen. Okay? So what I want you to do is start your brand by, even start like this. 1 mile from my house. 1 square mile from my house, I want to make sure I go after every business, every local business, every franchise, every elementary school, middle school, and church, 1 square mile from my house. And I want to make sure I'm canvassed, my neighbors, everybody in that neighborhood, I've branded myself. Okay? And I don't care how long it takes. But once you've done that, then say, okay, guess what? 2 miles. I'm going to go to mile 2 out. I'm going to go 2 miles out from my house. Start off very small like that, because I promise you, when you do this branding I'm talking about, you're going to see results. And I mean results in listings, buyers, people contacting you, leads. You're going to see results. And honestly, I know from doing this for years and years, nothing motivates a salesperson more than them actually making money. Okay? So I can come up here and talk all I want and tell you all these secrets, but I know deep down when you start doing them and you start making money, that's what's going to motivate you the most. That's when you're like, that worked, okay, what's that? I'm ready to go. And then you're going to jump to the next one, you're going to do it better, you're going to invest yourself more, you're going to do it. So I don't want you to have, I want you to start off with start off in a smaller area, do everything I showed you, but try to do it in just 1 small market, because when you see how well it works, you're going to get excited yourself. You're going to get excited, want to increase that brand, want to get out there and want to start branding yourself more, because it does work. You're going to see yourself actually being successful out there. So, with that, we're going to take a few minute break so we can go out and get some coffee, do whatever we want to do, and then we're going to come back and talk about our wheelhouse. You guys saw a lot of valuable information. So, coming back in, we're going to be talking about the wheelhouse in just a second, but first, let me talk about something I talked about at the beginning but I didn't elaborate on. So these are two other very, very, very important things, okay? Number one is, let's talk now about domain names, okay? Because we all have our C21 BSR or CBBSR website, but we want to be able to start driving traffic. The number one thing in every single search engine that people don't realize, and does everybody know what SEO means? Just in case you don't, search engine optimization. Layman's terms means when somebody searches something, how fast or where you come up on the list in Google, okay? Now, 98% of all real estate searches are done online. So if you're not capitalizing online, and you're not online, and you don't have a website, you are trying to sell yourself to 2% of the market out there. Not very smart, okay? So it's very important that we start getting online. Now, just having a website is like having the perfect listing and doing no marketing on it whatsoever, not even putting a sign outside. If nobody knows the house is for sale, it's not going to move very quickly now, is it? Okay? It's the same thing. If you have a great website, which you need no matter what, you got to have a website if nothing else is it, as your, it's the business card of the 21st century. But we want our website to make us money. So more than just being an online business card, how do we make money? People got to come to it, right? So we want to drive people to our website. Now, when I was talking about domain names earlier, remember I was talking about you're not going to be able to go get keywords like real estate, okay? Realestate.com, Realtor.com, these big boys out there, including your parent companies like ColdwellBanker.com and Century21.com, they spend a whole lot of money buying these keywords. But remember, that's not how people search, okay? The two most important facets of SEO is, believe it or not, number one isn't even the word. Number one is business directories, okay? That's what makes the internet go round, because who pays for advertising on the internet? Businesses. So business directories are first and foremost the priority in getting you ranked. That's why you notice when you do a search online, the first thing you see is, before even paid sponsors and number one, number two, you see a map with little pushpin locations, because those are business directories, okay? So what's very important is for all of you to go, and they're all free. They don't cost anything. Sure, once you sign up, I'm giving you fair warning now, you're going to get attacked, okay? Once you sign up on Yelp, you're going to get phone calls, you're going to get emails, we can make you number one on Google, we have marketing plans. Just no thank you, click, hang up, that's it, take me up your call list. They will call you. You do not have to buy it. It's 100% free to get on these services. We just want to be in that directory, okay? The other thing is, for all of you that have websites out there, do not think that Google is a magic, fortune teller. Don't wait for them to accidentally find you. Let them know you're there right off the bat. So the very important thing you guys all need to do too, and it's free, is make sure all your systems you have Google Analytics hooked up. Because once you turn on Google Analytics, which is free, you're telling Google, this is my website, here I am. So you immediately go in the search engine. Do you realize without Google Analytics, it could take you up to 6 months to a year, even before you're just auto-indexed into Google? That means if somebody even typed in your name, they wouldn't even find your website. Do you know that once you link Google Analytics, if they type in your name, within an hour, your website will be up instantly number one when they type in your name? Just having Google Analytics. Because you're putting yourself in the Google base. Don't wait for them to come to you, you go to them. Okay? That's why right in every one of your accounts, we have a Get Google Analytics. We have a Google Analytics manager right in your account settings so that you can hook up Google Analytics. They're that important. Okay? Now when it comes to domain names, remember, nobody searches the name real estate. They just don't. So it's almost comical that people spend millions of dollars trying to get this keyword when nobody searches for the keyword. Don't get caught up thinking that anybody is any different than you are. How you search for real estate, guess what? That's how everybody else searches for real estate too. Homes in Huntington Beach. Homes in Newport Beach. Rentals in South Santa Ana. That's how people search for homes. So these names are what we want to start indexing. So we want to start having domain names. We want to have business directories. So get into business directories very quickly. You're all already your own business, and you don't even have to have a catchy name. And you're not Beachside, so don't be Beachside. I'm just Mark Kaufman, C21 Beachside. Incorporate my name or incorporate what it is, but I'm Mark Kaufman Realtor, Mark Kaufman Real Estate Agent. Whatever you want to use. But just get in there and get these business directories listed with yourself. Okay. And here's another cool thing too. They're getting hooked up right now so that Century 21 and Coldwell Beachside and Beachside Corp is in Yelp, City Search, Hot Frog, all these. You can go, and we're going to be sending you information. We'll even do it for you. You can provide your information. We'll sublist your site on this as an agent of this company. Okay? So we'll do the darn work for you. Okay? Because then we know how important it is to get you in these business directories. Okay? Now, after you do the business directories, okay, we want to start getting cool domain names. Now, here's a little secret that a lot of people don't know either. Huntington Beach Homes for Sale, you think that's available on Google? I mean on GoDaddy? Of course it's not, okay? But here's a little secret. They're searching for keywords within the domain name, okay? Within the domain name. That means it doesn't matter what other words are in the domain name, okay? So here's what I'm trying to tell you. Homes for Sale in Newport Beach is going to get just as much hits as Homes for Sale in Newport Beach in newportbeach.com. Okay? I guarantee you that one's available. Homes for Sale in Newport Beach for sale in Newport. Guarantee you that one's available. And I'm going to get just as much credibility in the indexing of my site name. Okay? So don't worry about it. Just add whatever extra words you got to add on it as long as we have the search words that we want in there. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? It's very simple when you think about it. So go to Google and start with your farm first. Because domain names are cheap. They're, $10 a year. So everybody get at least 5 domain names. Okay? Start with your farm in your area, get these, and we forward and mask them to our website. Now, I recommend GoDaddy. I'm not a representative of GoDaddy. They certainly don't pay me any commission. So I've got no benefit to telling you GoDaddy. So I'm telling you why I recommend GoDaddy. I recommend GoDaddy because I don't think they're the best. They have problems. But the one thing I love about them, their customer service is the best out of any domain hosting company out there. And they'll do everything for you for free. So I know most of you in here aren't super technical, so I could go all day long here talking about this is how you ghost a website address, this is how you mask a website address. Just write down this word, forward with masking. Okay? Because if you use GoDaddy, after you buy your domain name, call them and just go, please forward this domain name here with masking. And they'll just do it for you. So you don't have to learn it, you don't have to go to a class, just have them do it for you. That's why I recommend GoDaddy. And they'll say, okay, it'll be done within an hour, free of charge. Okay? So that's why I like GoDaddy. Okay? What masking means is it keeps the domain name of what the domain name is. Okay? Now, remember what I just said. So if you get some crazy domain name like Homes for Sale in Newport for sale in Newport.com, don't do masking on that one. Okay? Because we don't want that up on the website address. The people are there looking at Homes for Sale in Newport for sale in Newport.com. Okay? So we don't want that. So all you do is just say, forward my website here to my markkaufman.cvbsr.com website. So that way when they go there, they type it in, they still see your whatever your website's being masked as right now, but at least you're indexing, you're referencing that domain name to that site. Okay? Then what do? Make sure, this is critical. What I just told you guys at the beginning is what? About making sure Google knows we're here, right? So every time you get a domain name, go back to your Google Analytics account and make sure you add that domain name in there too. Otherwise, you'll be waiting, what did I say the first time? 6 months to a year for that domain name to start working for you because Google doesn't know Newport Beach for Homes for sale in Newport.com is your domain name or goes to this website. You have to wait until it finds it on its own. And unless you're getting thousands of hits a day or a week, it could take a long time for Google to recognize that. Okay? So don't wait for the process. You'll write to them. And it's very simple. You go to your Google Analytics account, you can add as many domain names and websites to your Google Analytics account as you want. And what's the magic word? Free. It's all free. My personal Google Analytics account, I have like 750 websites on it that I have tracking stats to. I'm not kidding, I do. So you guys can have 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 domain names on there, all going on the same website. But that's why we want to tell Google. Don't wait for Google to find us. We want to tell Google we're Newport Beach for Homes for sale at Newport.com. Yes?
Would you go back and talk about masking again? What are we masking? I'm confused about why you mask and
all masking means is this, okay? Let's say my website is www.mark.com, okay? And I go buy a website that says www.tom.com, okay? If I just forward it when people type in, and I put a link, go to www.tom.com, they click it, they go to www.mark.com, and it says www.mark.com. If I forward with masking, when they type in or they click a link that says www.tom.com, they go to www.mark.com, but the website says www.tom.com. So I could have 10 different websites masked. So depending on what link I gave to somebody, I could have one website that's 10 different websites on the internet. Okay? And try to get as close to the name you want as possible, because masking does work better. You'll get better. You'll still get rankings, so you don't have to if you have to get something super long. But it is always better to actually have that name populate for the website from that link. So example, and it doesn't look too bad. Nobody's going to get crazy if a site says Newport Beach Homes for sale in Newport.com. Okay? And that's probably available too. It's not too crazy. I'm just saying, but if you have to get real crazy, like Huntington Beach Homes and Huntington Beach Homes for HuntingtonBeachHomes.com, I wouldn't mask that one. But you'll be surprised, just using a couple little in the beginning or the end behind it, you'll find almost perfectly the domain name you want. It won't look that crazy up there, but it's always better to mask it if you can, because then Google sees that as the website. So then what we're doing is we're kind of tricking Google to be, this website is these 20 websites. You know, so we want to drive as much traffic as there as we can. Okay? Now, another big important thing for you guys. I love blowing your mind, so I'm about ready to blow your mind right now. The next biggest ripoff in this industry is printing. Okay? You guys get destroyed on business cards, on flyers, on blah, blah, blah. And we want to look like number one, right? So we need to be doing printing. It's very important. So like we talked about in the beginning, that ROI, return on investment. I'm going to tell you right now, next to Google AdWords, this is the biggest ROI you're ever going to get. Get out your pens. If you don't have one, then ask somebody after what they wrote down. 4over.com. It's the number 4, OVER.com. Okay? This is a printer supply website. The biggest in the country. Okay? This is the secret of printing. What this is every printer you see everywhere and every ad you get, they're not really printers. They might have an inkjet machine there and do a couple of printing or make banners or stuff like that. But offset printing like flyers, business cards, all that, it gets farmed out. There's not that many printers left in the world. And actually there's only like 3 or 4, you know, in the whole West Coast that actually do lithographic printing. Because that kind of printing takes huge multi-million-dollar machines. They're all farmed out now, okay? That company I just told you is the printing company for printers, okay? So you're going to get the prices that the company you're buying from is paying, not what they're charging you. When you go there tonight, you are going to be blown away. I guarantee you right now, you're going to be blown away. Now, you don't have to be a printer to use that, but you have to be a business. But we're all what? Aren't we all businesses?
Yes.
All right? So you go register for them as a business. I'm Mark Kaufman, Century 21 Riverside Realtor. You open a business account with them. Now you can order from them, okay? Let me give you an example. You're going to see on there a 3-fold 4-over brochure on cardstock, like $2,500 for like $150 bucks.
Oh, wow.
You're going to see the paper flyers you guys do, $5,000 for like $67. Wow. Yeah, blew your mind, didn't I?
Wow.
You guys, and when I say you guys, don't feel bad. It isn't just the real estate industry. Printing is one of the biggest markup frauds, you know, for all consumers. Okay. That's how. Why do you think I was in the printing business as a salesman? Big markup, big money. Okay. One of the biggest frauds in the entire printing world, I'll give you the secret, is repo. Okay. And back in the printing days, we would say it's reproduction quality. So you would buy a repro slide or a repo transparency or a repo quality graphic. Okay. There was never any difference. A slide is a slide, a 4x5 transparency is a 4x5 transparency. There's never a difference in quality. You know what the difference in price was? A 4x5 transparency in 1997 was probably $4.97 each. $4.97 each. A repro quality transparency was $49 each. Okay? And they were the exact same product. And the studios and printers all bought repro quality all the time. Because the what? Perception was repro quality was so much better. Okay? So, printing is a big markup. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is return on investment, yes? Okay? That's how I want you. If you got nothing else today, you go home and you're going to be golden after that, okay? Because yes, we do want to get that. We talked about branding. We talked about doing all this stuff. How are we going to do that if we're not flooding the market out there with our face? So the easiest way to do that is in print, okay? Who cares if every 100 flyers you send out, 99 of them get thrown away? If that one brings you a lead and the cost for those 100 flyers gets down to $1, who cares? It's great return on investment on your money, okay? And then we want to start plastering. So all this cool stuff I showed you before about property flyers and all this cool stuff I showed you on, flyers out to people, now you can do it, okay? No excuse. It's cheap. It's not that expensive. So go to this 4over and I guarantee you, you're going to be blown away. And they have everything on there. You can go buy anything. They have every paper because they're a printer supplier. They work for printing companies. So every kind of UV coating, every kind of spotting, business cards, anything you want, they got, okay? And their printing as far as flyers and that kind of stuff is going to be ridiculous cheap. You're honestly going to be getting more than you need. You're like, well, I might as well just get 5,000 of them, And then start canvassing stuff with them, okay? And why you want this stuff too? Because these are good trades that we were talking about before with our sponsorships and our affiliates, right? Instead of a business card, now make a cool business card, okay? You have a regular business card you give to people, but if I have an affiliate, you know what kind of business card I'm going to make? I'm going to go to 4over and I'm going to make like a square 2x2 or 4x4 inch business card. That maybe has a couple little things on there, and that's the ones I'm going to leave in businesses and places like that. So you can get real creative because the pricing is so cost effective. So very, very important to be checking out these printer suppliers, okay? Now, same thing, just what I just said. I gave you 4over, but you know what? We all know the magic word. What is it?
Free.
Okay, I want you all to memorize it before we leave. Same thing, go into Google and and go into Google and look for printer supplier, okay? Printer, wholesale printing. You'll find more than just 4over. As a matter of fact, if you do your math, I honestly don't think 4over is the cheapest. I've just been using them so long, they're who I use and who I recommend it to you. But there might even be cheaper. So go do your research, but that's what you're going to look for. You see how I'm getting creative when I'm starting to search on the internet? I'm using words like free. I'm using words like wholesaler. This is the kind of stuff you search, you're going to be amazed. Forget even real estate for a second. In your everyday lives, if you start learning how to use Google, oh man, you'll be surprised. You want to buy something, you'll start finding deals on anything. I don't care if you're looking for a wedding dress or you're looking for a new suit. If you know how to search right, the internet is like Google is like having your own personal, entourage out there searching, scouring the earth for you for the best deals. So you know that now when you're using Groupon or whatever to go to an angel game. So think of that mentality in your business way too. That's all I'm asking you to do. Okay, now let's talk about your wheelhouse. Okay, I use this term a lot, so I just wanted to make sure we all understood what I mean when I say wheelhouse. A wheelhouse is an area of an expertise or a particular skill. Like if an alcoholic, I can say a beer contest is right in his wheelhouse. Okay. Anything that can be acted on with confident success. It originates from the fact that a wheelhouse is the room on a bridge of a ship where you steer from, providing you with a clear view and control to steer the situation. For example, the good-looking guy, let him talk to the ladies. That's right in his wheelhouse. Okay? Or singing the song in that key is right in her wheelhouse. Okay? So we all kind of understand what a wheelhouse is, right? So having said that, I want you guys to start in your wheelhouses. Okay? When you leave here today, that's what I want you to do because it's always easier. Okay? We have a saying in sales too. Teach you too. It's a lot easier to sell to a customer than it is to get a customer. Okay? Always is. Once you have a customer, upselling them is a lot easier than trying to go out and get that customer for the first time. Okay? So I want you guys to think of that in the same mentality. I want you to work in your wheelhouse, meaning it's a lot easier to build your friendships and relationships with your friends and relationships you already have first. Okay? That's where you can also get your proving ground in. Because right now, I'm asking you guys to be friend machines. Okay? Some of you, most of you, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. So go start practicing. It's a lot easier to start doing that where you're comfortable first and with the people you already know and in situations you already know and start building your confidence level up, okay? So start with your hobby, your sports, your friends, your family, any affiliations you have. Your school friends, your Facebook real and fake friends, grocery store clerks that you see on a regular basis, the gas station guy that's always there, just people that are in your normal everyday life and network. That's your wheelhouse. That's where I want you guys to start, okay? And you need to always be selling, okay? Always, okay? We just had a coffee break, And I've done how many presentations? How many workshops I've done? At least, what, 20? Oh, maybe not that many, but quite a few. I don't know how many, but a lot. Okay? Even now, probably 6 or 7 came up and said, hey, Mark, this is great, or Mark, I got this question, or Mark, that. Funny to me is not one of you gave me your business card and said, Mark, if you ever need real estate, give me a call. Not one of you. Now, you laugh. If I was out in that audience, you bet your butt I would have gave me a card. Do you think I don't ever buy houses? Or I don't ever deal in real estate? Or I don't know somebody that does? Sure, the chances are, will I use you? Maybe not. But hey, always selling. Always selling. That's why I want you guys to start in your wheelhouse. Because it's going to teach you now to start being a little comfortable with it. Okay? In other words, if you're in a bowling alley and you're on a bowling team, I'm sure you probably did. I'm sure the other members of your team know that you sell real estate. That ain't good enough. I want everybody in that bowling league to know you sell real estate and to have your card. And the truth is, most of you don't do that. If you're on a bowling team, you're sure to tell the people in your immediate vicinity or on your team, but you're not marketing that entire bowling alley to yourself. That's what I mean. A salesman is a salesman is a salesman. You're always, always selling. When you meet a friend, that's especially in your business, because you're in the, think about it. That's one good thing that does excite me about what you guys do, is you're in one of the very few businesses in the world where everybody is a potential customer. Everybody over the age of 18 is a potential customer. And because they all need your product. Everybody has to get real estate at one point or another in their life. There's only 2 ways to get it. What's that? Rent it or buy it. That's it. So that's kind of exciting, is that every single person you see is a potential customer. Not too many businesses in the world could say that. Okay? You guys and maybe what? Food? You know, maybe auto manufacturers. You know, it's a pretty narrow business that everybody needs your business. And here's the thing. Everybody, if they don't need your business right now, guarantee you they know somebody that does. Or they will come across somebody that does within a week or a month. That's for sure too. So that's why you should be always selling. Always branding yourself. Always selling out there. And I'm not asking you to be tactful. I know you know just as well as I do. I don't want you to be that slick used car salesman. I'm not asking you to do that. You know? Then you always want to be from a position of power, like I said. You never sell from a position of weakness. But people got to know about you. Just like the spiel I just gave you about Google knowing you, and they have to find you, so go to them. It's the same thing with customers and people out there. Okay? Don't think just because you hand somebody a card that everybody else around in the vicinity assumes they know you're a realtor and get in touch with you. You should be always, always introducing yourself. And make sure that people know that you're a realtor. More importantly, that you're a beachside realtor. And then make sure that you're branding yourself at all times. I want to see everybody selling all the time, because there's always an opportunity to be a potential customer or to get a referral. This is how we start building our referral network. You're a salesperson. The benefit of that is, like I said, we have unlimited ceiling potential. The downside of that is at 5 o'clock, there's no time clock. So we don't go home and then work's over. We are always a salesperson. You should be selling every opportunity you get. And what I said wasn't BS. It was the truth. Most of the sales, at least in my lifetime, weren't done during 9 to 5. Weren't done behind a desk on a phone. They were done through relationships I built afterwards. They were done having drinks. They were done at a disco. They were done at a concert. They were done at a launch party. They were done on the golf course. They were done in a restaurant. Most of my deals, that's the way they were done. Because I was always building these relationships. Okay? Now, so I want to make sure that you guys, very important too, sorry. This is true too. Information is the most powerful tool in the world. Okay? They say in movies and everywhere, information is power. Well, yes, it is. It is power. So I want you guys to start using information and think of always gathering information. It is so powerful. Like information I got on Greg Wadley. What was my information on him? I knew he was a surfer. So I used that to my advantage. Okay? This is the prime difference. Okay? I don't want you to get a referral like this. Hey, if you know anybody that's looking for real estate, let me know. Or give them my card. Give them my information. You might as well just throw the card in the trash. Okay? That's not how I want you guys trying to get referrals. This is what I want you to say. If you know anybody that's looking for property, let me know what they're looking for. Okay? I don't let somebody else give your contact information to a potential customer and let them represent you. okay, that have no sales training, don't know what they're doing, and aren't branding you the way you need to be branded, okay? Because the difference is, I don't even want you to refer me to somebody. I want you to tell me what somebody's looking for so I can go engage them. I want to be the one to contact them going, Tom told me you're looking for a house in Huntington Beach with a pool. Here's some houses right off the bat you can look at. Let me know if you need some more help. That's how I'm going to engage that potential lead. But to do that, I need that information first. I want to know what they're looking for. So always selling, do you know anyone? But then ask, let me know what they're looking for. I don't even want you guys asking somebody to refer you by name or by go to this website or by email address. If you start building these relationships that I'm talking about, even if they're minor, I'm not talking about being your best buddy for life, your BFF, just a casual friend, just these relationships that you have. When you build these relationships, I want you telling them, hey, if you know anybody or you come across somebody looking for a house, let me know, just give me a call, let me know what they're looking for, anytime, okay? Then you engage that person, okay? You will find, remember we were talking about ratios in the beginning? You will find your lead to close ratio will be a lot lower doing your leads like that versus just throwing it out there to win and good luck chance that somebody's going to go to the website because somebody told somebody about you, okay? We want to close those ratios and capitalize them as much as possible. So information is power. So everybody remember that. That's what we want. Don't just tell somebody to refer you. Tell somebody to give you the information for you to act on it and for you to go engage that customer and start building that relationship. Okay? Because it's going to be so much more powerful too. I know that John over here is looking for a house in Huntington Beach. So think about how much more powerful my chances are. My first engagement to him isn't going to be, oh, I was referred to you, I heard you're looking for a house. My first engagement is going to be, hey, John, Mike told me you're looking for a house in Huntington Beach. Click here, here's about 10 houses right now that are available right now. Let me know what type you're interested in, and I'll narrow the search down for and get you another list of houses to look at. Okay? My odds of him working with me now just went through the roof versus me sending him an email, oh, hey, I heard you're interested, I'm at your disposal, give me a call, let me know what you need. You know? Don't wait for the customer to have to give you information. Remember that attention span is almost nil. Get that information yourself and then engage them with that information. You'll find you'll be able to close them so much easier that way. You know? Information is power in every possible aspect that you're going to do in your business. Whether it be leads, whether it be with your seller, just like I talked about before. Even when I told you to create relationships. The easiest way to create relationships is through common interests, all that kind of stuff. How do we get that? Through information. So like I said, information can be gained with simple little things like, well, how's your day today? What's going on with you today? How's the kids doing in school? These kind of things are what I actually want you to do. I don't want you to just be all professional. I don't want you to be just the real estate agent. I want you to be their friend, their confidant, their shoulder to cry on. If their husband's cheating on them, I want them telling you about it. I want to know, I want you to be their friend, okay? I want you to be there for them, okay? And you don't have to pry. Like I said, a simple question, how are you doing? Well, what's going on with you today? You know, and again, we want to be professional, so we want to get that stuff out, but also engage that, you know? So, and like I said, you always open the door with that too. Don't just wait for the customer to contact you, okay? You're never going to build a relationship that way, okay? You're never going to break that barrier of comfortability where they feel they can start talking to you, okay? Engage them first. And you do that with information. For God's sakes, even if you got to make up some information, okay? You don't have to actually have some stats. You can call them and just go, hey, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking I'm going to do this because I really thought it would really help push the open house we're having next week. What do you think about it? You know? Engage them, you know? That was just a reason to call, okay? Because, and then again, once I get them out, this is the other thing too. Always, always try to get people out of the comfortability, into a comfortability zone. What I mean by that is, meet me at the office. No way, you're never going to close as many deals as if you meet them at a restaurant, or you meet them at a cafe, or you meet them somewhere where it's casual, where you can create more of that social environment to build these type of relationships, okay? The only time they should be coming to the office if they have to, because you're signing loan docs or whatever, even that I'd rather do it at the restaurant, okay? Or wherever, or outdoor, whatever. But think about that too. If you're going to try to make friends, try to make the atmosphere as better as possible too. Think of it in all those directions like that, you know? You have to really be, it's funny because on one hand I'm telling you to go out there and just be a friend machine, but on the other hand I'm telling you to be strategic about it, you know? And to really think about it, you know? Because the difference is I'm trying to teach you how to create a friend in a very short amount of time. Where normally friendships are created over a long time and over this and that. I don't want you to do that. And again, I'm not asking you to go out and make BFFs, you know. I'm just asking you to change the way that you're engaging your customers and you're communicating with your customers so they feel more of you than that you're just a realtor to them. Because they have no reason to refer business to just a realtor. They have no reason to see just a realtor be more successful. They have no reason to see just a realtor make more money. Okay? So what we want to do is get them vested in our success. And we can't do that. There's no way we can do that without a relationship. Now, the last thing again, we just talked about how powerful information is. Remember in all the trainings I showed you guys these error reports. Okay? You guys can run error reports on any address. Use them. Okay? If you're not using them, use them. They will give you so much information that allows you to start creating these relationships with customers because you can talk about crap. And the first thing you can talk about to people that everybody always wants to talk about is their neighbors. Okay? Everybody's always interested in their own neighborhood. Everybody is. So one of the very first great icebreakers is talking about either financial statistics, rental statistics, marriage statistics, race statistics, I don't care what it is. There's always something in the neighborhood that you can talk about, that you can find in these error reports. Okay? Not only that, you want to talk about branding yourself as a top agent. When you go in to talk to a potential customer and you know as much or more, and usually with this report you'll know more about their neighborhood than they do, I guarantee you right now they're going to be impressed. I would be impressed. You would be impressed. If I come to you right now and I sit in your house and I'm talking about I want to sell your home and I'm telling you stuff about your neighborhood you don't know and you've been there 10 years, you can deny all you want, but you're going to be impressed. You're going to remember me. Okay? I want you guys have all this at your disposal. Okay? Now remember, you can use perception once again. Now the way these reports work is this. Okay? You put in a zip code and then it gives you all the stats for the zip code. Okay? But then it's an interactive map, so you can actually zoom in to that particular neighborhood down to a street. And then you can see the percentages for whatever you're searching, even down to like a 5-house level. Okay? But remember that it's percentages. Okay? So it's not an exact science, it's percentages based on census reports. So what I mean by that is, if I zoom down to a neighborhood of 50 houses, and I'm looking to see who's married, number of single white married, or single white males in that neighborhood. Now, if I scroll all the way down, I'm going to get really good stats when I'm looking at the whole, area. But when I get down to a neighborhood of like 50 houses, it's going to tell me a percentage based on that house area. Okay? So if I'm looking at it for just single white males, the percentage might say 18%. Okay? So that doesn't necessarily mean that's an average. So that doesn't necessarily mean out of those 5 houses I zoomed all the way down to, that there's only a quarter of one is, a single white male. But that's the point. It's all about perception. Don't get too detailed on the report. What I just explained to you now, I didn't explain when I was doing sales training. I was just showing you the sales reports. I mean the error reports, and I was explaining it to you. Going, I can tell you how many people are married in a neighborhood. You've got 20% of the people in this neighborhood are married. Or you've got this or you've got that. So let people get impressed by the technology. Let the technology work for you. Okay? So you run the error report, send them the link, or show them this is how I find out stuff. Or be able to give them information because there's links in the error report to all kinds of stuff too. Crime records, child molesters, sex offender registries, all that stuff's in there. Now these things, some of them sound like taboo subjects, but they still allow you to engage. But this is why we listen to our customers and we go on information, We don't just offer credit. Like I would never go to a brand new customer and be like, hey, by the way, you want to know how many child molesters live in your neighborhood? That's just not what I'm going to do. But I'm going to listen. And if my customer has younger daughters and they're talking about, well, we want to go to a neighborhood that's really safe, so what they just do? They just open the door for me. Now my response to them is going to be, you know what, I make sure I run reports on every neighborhood so I know all the registered sex offenders in each neighborhood. Let me make sure that I send you listings in neighborhoods that I know have the lowest rate in the city. Okay? Big difference. Okay? But she gave me that information to be able to now market on that. And now I've opened the door to start talking, oh, how old are your daughters? Oh, where do they go to school? Okay? See, I'm engaging that customer. I'm going to start, I use just the little conversation of, I'm looking for a safe place because I got teenage girls. That information now allowed me to start communicating with her, and I use that as my in to start getting to know more about her family, more about her girls. Okay? Oh, they go to that school. Oh, I know that school. That's a great school. So-and-so's the principal, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to start now, each one of these, think of it as like a wall, okay? And this is like a little chisel. Every little engaging I do is just chipping away at that wall, chipping away at that wall. You know, every little thing. I'm talking about the school now, it's a little chip. The principal now, it's a little chip. Oh, I've got a daughter that age too. My daughter, blah, blah. Or if I don't, my sister's got a daughter that age. Well, we're going to talk about, my aunt, my niece, my nephew, whatever it is. But everything's just a small little chip, and I'm starting to build that relationship. And then I go back to talking about real estate and whatever my business is. But now I've opened the door to go back a little bit forward, okay? So it's not really rocket science if you think about it, But if you keep your mouth shut and just open the door with small invites, most people will give you all the information you want to know, okay? So, having said that, information is perception as well.